Alright, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Midnight Show. We're going to be talking about a slight variety of topics tonight. Let me make sure that my audio has the noise gate applied, as I've been messing around with my OBS quite a bit lately. Hopefully chat pops up on screen here in a second, but of course, to introduce my less esteemed co-host. Still esteemed quite a bit, but not quite as much as our compatriot, Davey Crocko. Which, if you aren't already familiar, a close associate of the channel, nice fella, as far as I can tell. I've always worried about, once I start working with somebody, and you find, who knows what's in the closet, who knows what's gonna come out, and I worry sometimes, like, oh fuck, it appears as though, as far as, working with somebody, that's as good as you can get. Especially considering we seem to have of like minds in regards to topics, but I don't want to give away too much of what we have planned for this weekend, which would be 2 days from now. Well, 47 and a half hours, rather, just under 2 days, at midnight on Sunday night, of course. Midnight Crock button. Let me drop the link once again, because it's just a button. But yes, chat, we out here. We're out here. Our bot should be up and running now. Am I Scully or Mulder in their relationship? Well, it's funny you should ask, because I was going to. We'll still do the Deus Ex intro. It's too good. It's too good not to use. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. I made this for conspiracy segments on the stream, but let's be real. The entire fucking show is basically a conspiracy stream, so it's kind of, I don't know, not accurate to want to use it for that, but this is what I had made. Let me turn off that music. There we go. There's your answer, bud. The truth is always out there, chat. Never lose faith. Even in the face of Armageddon, never compromise. And by the way, I had to make that myself, so I'm... well, by make it myself, I remixed it myself, but... hopefully that is enough. I didn't see the notification for playing copywritten music, which is now a thing that pops up in the studio. Thanks, YouTube. It's good to know they're working on the important things. Like pushing credited news outlets that are that have been exposed over the past few years for doxing and harassing, stalking private citizens. And that's not considered bullying. That's not considered extorting when they... Or maybe not extort. It's not extortion. What the fuck am I talking about? Speaking out of the side of my neck again. That's not harassment. That's not bullying. But making jokes about people on the internet... You made a joke about Carlos Maza? That's harassment, sir. Well, how come it's harassment for us to make a few bad jokes? Maybe arguably tasteless jokes against a fellow. But then, when a news outlet that you're promoting, get a load of this. Here, I'll give you a bit of a preview of what I have lined up for later. So, I was looking at, or rather looking for the Epstein drone footage videos that I'm sure some of you have seen. Now, if you type in Epstein Island drone footage, this used to be the first thing that popped up because it's the first thing that you would be looking for is Rusty Shackelford's channel, right? Look at how long I have to scroll past accredited truth tellers. Look at this shit. Who really wants to hear their fucking takes about Jeffrey Epstein from the media? The same people that covered for him for his entire life. Really? Google. This is the hill you've chosen. This is a crazy hill. And speaking of which, there's another crazy organization. I certainly wasn't alive in this time, but there was a time where the ACLU would stand behind like the Black Panthers and George Lincoln Rockwell in a couple of occasions. From what I understand, they probably like half-assed it, I'm sure, because they've never been fair. But get a load of this, chat. And I know we haven't even gotten into the show yet. I've already... That's how you can tell I have some shit on my mind. No, we'll get to that in a second. Where are we at? Where is this fucking thing I was looking at? The ACLU. Look at this. This is not justice. The U.S. is set to execute a man with schizophrenia and Alzheimer's. Right? Like, it's really, really sad. Well, get a load of this. This is the person they're making him out to be. Oh, this poor old man. He you know, you look at Wesley Ira Perky, violently raped and murdered a 16-year-old girl, dismembered, burned, and dumped the young girl's body in a septic pond. Also convicted in state court for using a claw hammer to bludgeon to death an 80-year-old woman who suffered from polio and walked with a cane. On November 5th, 2003, a jury in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Missouri found Perky guilty of kidnapping a child, resulting in the child's death, and he was sentenced to death. That was 17 years ago. And now, since he's got Alzheimer's, he's got schizophrenia. Okay, it's weird how they choose these particular heroes, isn't it? Like, this is who they want to protect. They don't care about preserving American values, right? The American Civil Liberties Union. Where were they for the people that were unfairly targeted for Charlottesville? As lame as all of that was. How come those people have been vilified? Their reputations tarnished, but these people who, on Unicorn Riot, who burnt down Minneapolis, a city in Minneapolis. Where's Minneapolis? I'm just a little irritated, chat, so I'm speaking a little off. But what I'm saying is Unicorn Riot, they have apparent connections to the FBI. And like I mentioned with the media and YouTube, they get recommended to people. Thousands of live viewers. They can burn a city down live on air, look in the camera, and talk about unironically murdering innocent people, telling we're going to come for you into your houses. And that's not harassment and bullying. That's not promoting violent content. Hell, throw in an ad for Arby's. You know, coincidentally, they're burning down an Arby's. What a coincidence. And then... get this, chat. Get this. How crazy is this? After that, the police came out and knelt before the fucking rioters. Submitted right before them. Isn't that a kicker? But is it... Here, I'm going to make the deal even fucking sweeter, chat. Maybe we're going to have to call this fucking show the Black Pill. You want to hear how it gets sweeter? After that, then all the corporations came out and knelt on America's neck. Millions of dollars they're throwing towards these same people just burnt down cities across the nation, throwing money, funding domestic terrorism. But you and I, we make a few fucking jokes here. That's not allowed. That's a bridge too far. I guess we should have told everyone we were wearing masks and tell everyone we were fighting white supremacy. Chat, let it be known that here, until the end of time, well, until it's not topical anymore, we oppose racism. As long as it makes sure that we don't go to the fucking gulag, right? Because we gotta play ball. We gotta be nice. Unicorn Riot. Fucking slam this thing. Oh my fucking god, folks. It's too much. It's too much. I can hardly... I am so mad, as our co-host would say. Okay, well, and with that, I mean, really, let's really be thankful for what it means to be American. Hey, chat? To those that are American here, I imagine there's a sizable portion based on the analytics. It's something like 70%, I think. So all of my fellow Americans, all of my brothers and sisters across the nation. Here it is, the world we live in. There's no way for me to promote content that is a parody anymore. I've been trying to do Midnight News 6 for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I can't think of any way to make a joke about this shit. I don't find it funny anymore. It's not funny. And I wonder sometimes, like, are they doing this just to piss me off? It feels like it. Like, I know that would be levels of delusion and grandeur that I think even I am incapable of, but it really seems like it sometimes. I see some shit and I'm like, man, I swear, like, you did this just to get under my skin, but I'm such an insignificant asshole. Like, how did you manage? I should be impressed. All right, and with that, let's start the intro. What is 10 fucking minutes? Could you call that a rant? Could you call that a diluted ramble from a frustrated individual? Not that frustrated, chat. I realize how bad, frustrated is kind of like a mild form of irritation. But then I realized, when people say frustrated and write it in articles, they mean like there are some underlying frustrations. No, nothing like that. Just a little irritated. I need another cup of coffee and I don't have one. That's the type of frustration I'm talking about. Momentary. Oh man, I can't wait for them. The second wave's coming, folks. It's about here. They're all going to shut us out into our fucking apartments and houses, and again, we're going to get locked up again. They're get the what? I don't even. I can't even speak coherently because this is so insane to me. We're going to get locked up in our own houses, but they're letting all the criminals go free. What? I can't even, man. I'm reaching levels of Redditism I never thought possible. All right, I'm gonna go grab myself a Coca-Cola. I'm gonna play this intro for you. I hope just drink it in, and I will be right back, and we'll talk about a bunch of other shit that will hopefully get a few cheap laughs. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Once again, asking for your financial support.
Disgusting.
We're coming like 300 tons. You're telling me, man?
And we drop thousands of dollars down on the fans.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
I gave him a lot of money. Because I gave him a lot of money.
The sharing of bias and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
And officially, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Midnight Show at the regular time tonight. On the regular channel, same place, varying times of the night, the day. Just a show that happens whenever it happens. But, welcome everybody, officially, to the show. Let me get, look at that. Alright, and there's my cat already, she only does this when I'm streaming. Noodle, stop it. Stop it. She's like going to town, dude. She's doing something that she knows I don't. Kitty, I got the squirt bottle. I guess I gotta like get. No, stop it. It's like psychological warfare with this cat. Like I feel like she's. I feel like I'm playing a game of mental chess with this fucking cat.
relationship with my kids.
Just ever since the diet started, it's been a while. It's been almost a year, if not longer than that. Just ever since then. No fishing stuff out of the trash. See, like I said, chat. See, the official co-host of the show. No, you are not a trash kitty. You get wet food once a day. You are a very spoiled kitty. She's just demanding. Do you want to say something? Do you have something to say, Kat? Is that what we're doing here? Yeah, she's coming up. Let's see. Speak your speech, Kat. What do you got to say? You want to say something? We throwing down? Is that what we're doing? Am I gonna go full fucking Owen Benjamin on this stream right now? I mean, she's a big kitty. She can handle it. Yeah, I just... That's not a good... that was... Yeah, you guys don't even know. Like, I suplex... What's the name of his dog? I forget the name of his dog. Yeah, fuck it. Lost bit. Not funny anymore. Let's move on. The game of cat and mouse, it really is. Oh, man. I have so many tabs open. Where to begin? Where to begin? I guess I must have misplaced this tweet. Hold on a second. I feel like it's just such a good place to start. Here it is. Good place to start. Like I said, we should start calling this the black pill, because tis the reality we have arrived in, folks. Or even better, I'll use the Twitter crop. There we are. Today, the Attorney General's office announced criminal charges against a Benton County contractor for allegedly defrauding customers who are elderly or disabled. That's not the right one. That's not the right one.
Tell the crew to push the whopper button.
Tight ship we run here, by the way, Chad. Tight ship we run around here. Anyway, it's the fucking Attorney General that is pressing charges against the couple for defending their house. You know the couple I'm talking about. But Eric Schmidt, Attorney General of Missouri. That's the problem when you have too many tabs open at once.
It's not true.
Remember the bit about George? Here we go. Okay, it's a little further down than I thought it was. Oh, here we go, chat.
No.
Fighting with the page as always. Okay.
Forget juice. Forget juice.
We can do this.
Forget juice.
I believe in this, chat. There we go.
No juice.
Breaking warrant served on St. Louis couple who defended private property, rifle confiscated, report says. And this is the Daily Wire, of course. Of course, the Daily Wire. Law enforcement officials in St. Louis have allegedly served a warrant on the St. Louis couple who recently defended their home when a large mob of angry demonstrators, see, even they're playing ball, the Daily Wire, allegedly trespassed on their private property. Search warrant Friday evening. Central West End couple who confronted protesters with weapons in June. Let's see. Police seized one of the weapons, the rifle, from the couple and told police their attorney has the pistol seen in the photos. This is Fox contributor Shannon Bream. She got the hype treatment on Tucker, I remember. Why isn't the crop... Maybe I'm zoomed in a little bit. There we go. Breaking warrant reportedly served on St. Louis couple. There you go. So the reason I had the Eric Schmidt up, there we go, is this was just to look at his account here. Get a load of this. The official account of Attorney General of Missouri, Eric Schmidt, working tirelessly to protect all of Missouri's 6 million citizens. Tweets are by AGO staff. Just let that sink in for a second. All 6 million citizens. Eric, how fucking dare you, man? We all know that number is much higher. We all know how fucking 6 million. That's it. That 6 million people. Fucking hatred. The absolute hatred. You're just denying the existence of who knows how many millions of Americans that probably live in Missouri. Yeah, that's what exactly. Only 6. Just fucking despicable. Fucking despicable. But Eric Schmidt, wouldn't you know it? Now, here's a... I think he has the same birthday as somebody I know. Eric Schmidt, Attorney General of Missouri. Republican Party. Huh. You know, I was told that if I just took my little good intentions and walked my ass down to the ballot box, that everything would change. That's democracy in action. I guess if you voted Republican, this is the environment you fostered for yourself because democracy totally exists. You know, I guess tough break, Republicans. I guess even your site's selling out everyone too. Shocker. Tell me something else I didn't know a fucking decade ago. Shocker. But like I said, chat, the whole thing, and this is just my humble opinion, I hope I'm wrong, but I call it as I see it. I always have and always fucking will, I suppose. But this whole thing called politics is a charade intended to get us to hate each other across the ideological spectrum. People on the left who think that everyone on the right is to blame. They keep the population against each other. And then they place their faith and their hopes into these hollowed out husks. They literally look like hollowed out husks. These human beings that look like fucking monsters. And go, well, they went out and said the thing I like. So they also, the company also came out and said the thing I like. So they totally have our intentions at heart. When in reality, these people just pretend behind the scenes to have any animosity towards each other. It's all a big fucking grift. As the saying goes, it's all a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. You and I will never be in the big club. I don't want to be in the fucking big club. I heard about what those people in that big club indulge in. I have no interest. You know what? Fine. I don't even care if you're famous. I chilled with a famous person and not even bring up me knowing who they were. They just, yeah, let's sticks and dabs. Let's hang out. I don't mind. But unless it's like James Gunn or some shit, as much as I think James Gunn is remarkable. I'd say remarkable, as in not like amazing, but he's remarkable. A 7 out of 10. Decent director. Hard to come by these days. Still wouldn't have a beer with the guy. But Neil Breen, I would party with Neil Breen. You fucking kidding me? Holy shit, that would be a good time. Just let him go on about all these war stories that never happened. Be fucking amazing. Anyway, yeah, Neil Breen. Who doesn't love It's Double Down, right? The name of the movie. I could get into any car. It's just, if you haven't seen the movie, it's like having a dream that you're watching on the screen about a guy who is just... John Wick, right? They tell you he's badass, but then he does badass shit in the movie. In Neil Breen movie, he just tells you how badass he is for like an hour and a half. Just voice overlays about how fucking cool he is, how he can hack anything. How he's just a whiz, greatest spy in the world. And then in between that is him running through the desert. It's fucking amazing. Anyway. We should start a cold compound political... Well, maybe Davey and I could pitch in, buy ourselves a $2 million piece of property. It'd be amazing. Breen is the greatest director of all time, unironically. Well, what makes Neil Breen amazing, he has a certain quality, right? He has this beautiful lack of self-awareness that a lot of failures have. Like, people who make film, who love it, who are very enthusiastic about it, but even when they're super full of themselves, it just sucks. Case in point, what's that guy called? That guy with the glasses. Nostalgia Critic. Forget his real name, because I don't really think very much of him, besides him being so full of himself and not being funny or entertaining. But when all of that guy with the glasses shit came out, everyone's behind the scenes like commentary about him revolves around him thinking that he's like the modern fucking Steven Spielberg. I had to remember, because I don't even think very highly of that guy either. I couldn't even remember his fucking name. But he thinks he's basically I keep wanting to say Stanley Kubrick, but he doesn't think he's Stanley Kubrick. He thinks he's Spielberg. More than one person said that exact thing. So he's unaware that he makes some of the worst shit I've ever seen. And it's really ironic, because Nostalgia Critic used to be kind of funny. It was like, okay, that's a nice walk through memory lane of you showing me this old movie, and I remember all these parts, and making a little bit of commentary about it. And then eventually he's like, no, we have to have all these scenes. We have to make it transformative. We'll have you play characters, and it's just incredibly cringy, and not even in an entertaining fashion. But then you compare that guy with that much lack of awareness to somebody like Neil Breen, who's basically doing the same thing, but all by himself. And there's just a level of sincerity, I think is the right word, like an 8-year-old's power fantasy made in the form of a movie by a middle-aged man. It's beautiful, chat. It's beautiful. Did you talk about Kurt P. Little already? I don't know that we can. Already, I said, first time I look at chat, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Curl P. Little. Or it's Kurt. Curl. Let me Google that real quick. Let's see what we got going on. Did I get that right? Yeah, nothing's coming up. I get Kurt Doolittle. Is that who we're... That seems to be a person. Philosophy of truth, science, economics, national and constitutional law. Okay, so I might be completely unacquainted with whatever relevant might be happening with this person. John Mark was a glow-in-the-dark. No question, YouTube is on it. Helping him. Yeah, apparently I'm out of the dark, or out of the loop, in the dark. Like Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, I mean Tommy Wiseau is just like Tommy Wiseau, but not nearly so pretentious. You'd have to fuck it. I can show you a little bit of Double Down. This is unironically one of my favorite movies. Just because of the feeling you get while watching it. It's hard to replicate. It's like lightning in a bottle. There's no way another movie like this will happen, and there's no way Neil Breen will do another movie like this. Like the trailer, like the supercut is what's really good, but it looks like it's already taken down. He's kind of a dick about copyright. And what's funny is he's such a dick about copyright that he doesn't let people like buy his movies off his website. You have to like email him, and then he sends you a DVD. That's the only way he does business. Yeah, I can pull you in for a second. Here, let me grab my headphones. Probably have a long stream tonight, chat, because I gotta go over this Vox shit, which I'm rather enthusiastic about. I haven't even taken a look of what Nick had to say about it, but I'm curious. I'm just gonna sit there and watch it like it's a Ron Toy stream. Respond to it like it's a SJW video from 2015. Be a good time for everybody. Can't seem to find it. Maybe this is it.
Las Vegas, where anything goes. Enjoy it while you can. I'm about to end it all. My name is Aaron Brown. I always thought I was doing the right thing and preparing for life.
I thought his name was Neil
I was
Breen
the
in
first in
movie.
my class in college in computer science. I joined the military and became a fighter pilot, and won many medals for distinguished service. I'm now a covert agent, a mercenary, for any nation that wants to control another. I don't need much to live on anymore. I just eat tuna out of the can and live in the car. I control access to anything and everything.
Yep.
Even from my little, simple, brilliant setup. My orders from another country are to shut down the Las Vegas Strip for 2 months. I've been given this great power, but I'm so alone without the girl I love. My girlfriend and I always wanted to have children.
I love you.
And now all of that's been taken away from me.
Confirmed.
Oh, jeez. He is planning something very big. Bigger than 9/11 or any of the other larger catastrophes we caught in time after 9/11.
I just want to walk through that piece of dialogue again. It's bigger than 9/11 or any of the other atrocities that we had after 9/11. I'm just going to rewind that. It's such a good...
11 or any of the other larger catastrophes we caught in time after 9/11.
It's me. Give me the president.
Give me the president.
Contact has been made. Governments don't dare try to kill me.
Where does he go?
He's on a quest. Don't ask, he's protected.
You're a genius. The best.
The best.
But you know that. No. This time, it's personal.
I can't forget her. Nor forgive them for what they did to us. Forgive me. Forgive me. It's starting.
It goes on for 3 minutes. Oh, I forgot about his force field. That was...
Marriage is over. Get out.
I've got the package. It's a setup.
I can't believe he added that
No,
to the
sir.
fucking trailer.
Don't ask
Him
how
running
I
down the
found
hill.
you. I know everything. It broke open. Run!
Holy shit, it's him!
So many questions, I'm so confused.
It's funny because this trailer makes this almost look like a real movie. Trust me, chat. You watch this fucking thing, it is not like a normal movie. Like, this almost comes off like just a low budget, like small studio production. This is made by a one guy who kind of hired everybody offhand, got a lot of drone footage out in Las Vegas. So it's this trailer doesn't do the movie justice. Like, you see some gems, but you don't realize how awkward the whole movie feels. This is another banger of a fucking scene.
I can't go on with this. I can't go on with this. I'm an American. I'm an American. I love this country. It's my country. You're the retarded.
Our daughter Megan was just diagnosed with brain cancer. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
An assassination. We want to kill someone.
Disgusting.
Did you have to put your... fuck's sake, Neil. Did you have to put your balls in the fucking trailer? Fuck you, buddy. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. This is the second time I'm gonna have to fucking edit something out of a stream, dick. But yeah, he has like 4 movies, but you really only need to see Double Down. There's the one where he goes, what'll it be this time? Shutting down an entire economy? Causing an entire nation to fall? How about some covert operations in I don't know, in the middle of nowhere? It's all easy. That's my favorite part. Or I know it has this one at least, where he's showing off his totally real and not purchased at a pawn shop vest. I know, like, Coach knows a fucking good shot when he sees one. I mean, it's a beautifully shot scene, like, especially if it, you know, This guy, with the right direction, could unironically make a great movie.
The Medal of Honor.
Now, you need to have the I've been awarded every medal.
I've been awarded every medal. The Medal of Honor. The Medal for Meritorious Service. Defense Meritorious Service. Joint Service Achievement Award. Armed Forces Medal. Purple Heart. Heroic Meritorious Achievement.
Hell yeah.
The Bronze Star. The Medal for Gallantry in Action.
He just keeps listing them.
And
Keeps
I've
listing
never
them.
been so proud of our troops.
Listing them.
But I have no love to live for anymore. After all, I controlled access to the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
From his like laptops from like 1975. Okay, the part with the force field's great, but I think I've gotten my point across.
Network.
Oh,
centric.
nope. This is this
war.
exact scene. It starts off besides
Major
that
city.
atrocious fucking intro.
And a future for white children.
Here we go. And we'll move on after this.
What do you have for me this time? Cryptography? Hacking into a banking system? Shutting down a power grid for a major city? Cutting off the water system for half the country? Hacking into the stock market? Closing down a bank? Fixing an election? It's all easy. Network-centric warfare.
Yep. Beautiful. Just simply beautiful, chat. I nor you will ever have a moment of enlightenment quite like Neil Breen. Yeah. Jump in live channels and I'll pull you into the live. That's the one. Live. Okay, so yeah, it's either that or Operation Ram Ranch. Either will work. The voice channel is basically the one that chat can jump into. So. All right. Can you hear me? Everything good?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, my man?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. Just living that wage life, that wage cuck life. Now, where is? I had prepared.
Are we live, by the way?
We are live. Yes. They can hear
Hello,
you.
chat. Start hating on me, please. It needs my ego. I need it.
Indeed. Where is it at? I had.
Okay. Fuck that. You got to Google this. Kurt with a C. Kurt Doolittle peeing.
Ping with ing.
Yes. Peeing, like, to go pee, because there is this fantastic shot. Or let me perhaps I have it around here. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. It's just all kinds of shenanigans happened, okay? And it's just beyond cringe. It's just, oh wait, okay, so it's not here. Hang on a second. Let me just find it up. Just be patient with me.
You're good. Piss
oh my
yourself to
goodness,
own the
it's-
libs. Is that the thing that fucking Medicare made a video about?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay. I haven't watched
Oh,
that yet. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Here, I got a shot here. I'm pulling it up. Hang on a second. Well,
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. The guy that pissed himself outside of like Black Lives Matter rally. Is that what we're talking about?
no, it was July 4th. Okay, he's like in Richmond, Virginia. This guy, Kurt Doolittle, I know this guy. I've talked to him several times. Okay, we're not like friends, right? We're like internet acquaintances, and I've talked to him a few times. He lived in Ukraine. And he lived in Ukraine during the whole Maidan thing going on in 2014, was it? 2013? Okay, fine. It's, perfectly, it doesn't mean anything, right? But but and now he lives in Seattle, and he's sort of like a guy who claims to be an IT entrepreneur. But you know how different people in different occupations, they have a certain vibe to them that you sense if somebody is like I don't know, like a cop. If you've ever met a guy who's a cop, but he's not in uniform, he's just like regular, he acts a certain way. You got a vibe from the guy. And so if you or I were to say, oh yeah, we're, police officers, somebody who's been around cops would say, no, you're not, because we don't have that vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
And
about.
yeah, and Kurt Doolittle claimed to be like IT entrepreneur, and I've met several IT entrepreneurs of greater or lesser success, and they didn't have his vibe, or he didn't have their vibe. Okay, so anyway, fine. He's doing this thing called proprietarianism out on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, so I don't really follow the shit. It seems like this insanely complicated political theory that you know it's kind of like appeals to the theory weenie guys. You know those guys who used to play D&D and who would read all the fucking books and memorize all the fucking rules because it just appeals to their autism, right? Okay, so proprietarianism appeals to that kind of guy. It's this complicated political philosophy that I actually studied philosophy. I couldn't make heads or tails of it, but fuck it. What do I know, right? So anyway, he's got this proprietarianism shit. A guy called John Mark pops out of fucking nowhere and he amasses a huge audience, a couple of 100,000 subscribers in a matter of weeks, not months, not even years, weeks, right? He puts out 2 videos and they're well produced. But, I mean, I'm a hobbyist and I think that some of my videos are fairly well produced. I mean, I know that with the off the shelf technology, you can get fairly decent production values for a relatively moderate cost. I figure, he's a guy like me, um, creating fairly well produced content. And it's all about like, I mean, he's heavy accelerationist. He's like all about the Civil War, the coming Civil War. And he's like pro Civil War. He thinks that a Civil War would be a good thing. This is John Mark I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And he does like a bunch of videos. And they do very well. The algorithm is serving them all over the place, which is kind of weird because this guy really is advocating violence, right?
Right.
And John Mark and Kurt Doolittle do like a bunch of live streams. I mean, they collaborate and all kinds of shit, right? And they develop this whole proprietarianism shit. And from it, they get like a whole bunch of personal information because they ask people to sign up for this shit. And they get like the real email, the real names of different people. And then they do this event on July 4th, which they really hype up, apparently. This event in Richmond. And they gather a whole bunch of these people who are quote unquote proprietarianists. This is fucking like Sargon's group or whatever, right? Anyway, and they all gather together. They have this weird demonstration or whatever. And in the middle of it, so like John Mark kind of like appears, but sort of like on the fringes. He's wearing a baseball cap and shades. And, he seems a little aloof. He's like there, but not there. And they're gathering like pictures and information about the people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt Doolittle gives like this big speech that is fairly incoherent. He's like literally screaming down the megaphone. And some Black Lives Matter guy shows up, a black guy. And he sort of like wends his way through the crowd and gets up to Kurt Doolittle and starts talking to him. And before you know it, Kurt Doolittle sits down because he's peed his pants, as you can see by the photos. He starts talking to this black guy, telling him that black men are better endowed than white men and more intelligent and stronger than white men, right? And it's like the guy is like totally cucking out in a really weird fucking way. And it's just like a whole like embarrassment. The whole movement just collapses because all this shit is being live streamed. Like 2 different people are live streaming or something. The whole movement just completely collapses. And this guy John Mark, he vanishes from the online scene. I mean, his channel, I think he had a Twitter, his Facebook, they're all gone, just gone, just totally gone. Not that YouTube kicked him off. He got rid of everything. And he just, poof, he's a puff of smoke, and, all there is conjecture and rumor kind of thing. And that's the story so far. And everybody's saying that John Mark was like a Fed, which, yeah, it totally sounds like he was a Fed. But anyway, this is more or less the information I have. Chat, if correct me if anything I've said is wrong. I'm not looking at my screen right now. Are they claiming that I'm all wrong?
I think like I did just get a $2 super chat from Rich D. Says Coach Roach. But other than that, just your typical fuck Coach. Anybody else but Coach. Dear God, kick him. But it's like 50, and then a couple of people wondering, is it a meme or is it genuine? It's a meme, but a little bit of it is genuine. You know what I mean? They lean into it a little, I think.
60% genuine, 40% meme.
60-40? Ah, okay, that's probably more accurate.
Yeah. That's fine, I mean, the only chat that loves me is my own chat. Everybody else's chat hates my guts. That's fine, I mean, ooh, mangoes. But like, no, this Kurt Doolittle thing, it's so fucking funny because it all makes a lot of sense. I think that this guy, Kurt Doolittle, yeah, he's like some sort of like low-level hanger-on kind of Fed of some sort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of these people just basically trying to infiltrate like a fan base or a movement so they can kind of gather names and information rather, so pass it off to their boss.
I don't quite know exactly. No. I think it's sort of like this is from what I understand that in like intelligence, there are like CIA officers or section heads and shit like that, but they're also like these like losers, basically, who are just running around running gay ops. And the CIA throws them some crumbs because every once in a while one of these losers will come up with something. And mostly they're fantasists. They're people who claim to be all this and more, and they're living kind of like a fantasy world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting a little bit of money thrown their way from the CIA or whomever. This is like fucking public knowledge. Watch JFK, the movie. It talks real well about that kind of situation of like these like low-level losers that kind of like wind up being not like funded like hundreds of thousands of dollars, but maybe $1,000 a month kind of thing, just to see if anything happens, and they sort of like mooch off that whole world. Yeah, they're moochers, they're fantasists. I think this Doolittle guy was that, and I think that Mark was like an actual Fed because his growth didn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems like there's a fellow named Keith Woods that is making a similar argument on Bitchute. I haven't watched it, but I came across it while looking to see what I could find regarding that. So I recommend this video.
I saw that video.
Okay.
It's right on the money. It's right on the money. I highly recommend it. And also, Memology kind of like did a quickie video, sort of like recapping the whole situation.
Oh, okay. So somebody was talking about that in chat earlier, I think.
No.
Yeah, so I'll actually drop the
Keith
link.
Wood guy. Yeah. He's our kind of guy, by the way. He's like an Irish guy. And he has this funny accent that you think is fake, but it's real. It's like this weird Irish accent. I have no idea about Irish accents and whatnot. But anyway, he seems like an all right guy. And he just goes full on this whole proprietarianism shit. Like I said before at the beginning, I was in touch with Kurt Doolittle. I actually did a stream with the guy. And he always struck me as like, how could I put it? He struck me as a weaker personality than what he portrayed himself as being. It didn't make a hell of a lot of sense when he was telling me that he was like some big, tech entrepreneur kind of guy. It just didn't make any sense. And by the way, Medicre's video, which I saw earlier this morning, it's morning my time. He just shellacked Kurt Doolittle because Doolittle has been on this like post Richmond Facebook offensive, like talking out of his ass. I mean, like making a real fool of himself. I mean, really just digging the hole even deeper. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, those two guys and that whole crowd. Well, that whole crowd got blown the fuck out. I mean, they all just scattered, and they're all like, I think that they're all kind of like worried because a lot of them gave up their personal information and whatnot. And yeah, and thinking about it, it, it's quite obvious. I never really thought about it because I'm not a paranoid kind of guy, but obviously, like in the call it the dissident right, call it whatever you want to call it, sphere of YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatnot, there must be more than one guy who's like really like a Fed. Are you a Fed, Wild Smile?
No, no.
How do I know that?
That's a great question. You just got to take my word for it.
Oh, man.
That's kind of where we're at with everybody. There's a lot of people that say you're a Fed too, by the way. But, you know.
Who told?
You told? I didn't let the cat out of the bag, man. It wasn't me.
Hey, fucker, I told you.
It's not true.
Defense Intelligence Agency, but you're not supposed to tell anybody. We're supposed to like draw them in, man. What the fuck?
I'm going to keep this
You're
grift
blowing the whole
going.
operation.
Now, I think if we were Feds, we'd be a little bit closer with people like Lauren Southern and Milo and Tommy Robinson and Rebel Media.
Maybe David Sherratt.
Oh, yeah.
Was like a British Fed, and he was trying to get close to Lauren Southern, and it just blew up in his face. Maybe that's what happened.
I don't know. I don't think they'd give him a job. He's not of the quite the complexion they're looking for.
Oh, they're looking for a more, more somebody like me, a person of color.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think you're enough
I am
of.
a person of color.
Well, you're not a person of color enough. We're looking for somebody that has like genetic superior dick size. So, you know, it makes me wonder. Since you brought up Sherratt, it made me think of Kraut. And it made me think of that clip with Naked Ape. I could probably play it actually. Where no, he drops a hard R in that clip. The one where we haven't done a knockout study. Yeah, that video. And so maybe this Kurt fellow is just a really big Kraut fan, or has heard that clip in passing. He's like, oh well, you know, Kraut says it. I'll co-sign it.
You, Kurt Doolittle. I've never seen a guy. God, it was so pathetic. It was so fucking pathetic, right? This guy with a megaphone, he's screaming at the megaphone, right? You got to find that clip. He's screaming at the megaphone, so of course nobody can understand a word he's fucking saying, right? Because of the feedback, right? And he's screaming at the megaphone, saying shit. And this like black guy, he is like from BLM protest, just that's happening right then and there, right? It's 4th of July after all. And this guy's sort of like, winds his way through the crowd, gets to Kurt Doolittle, and basically does that thing. Remember when those girls went up to Bernie Sanders and deplatformed him and took over his platform? Same exact thing. And the guy, it was so pathetic because he like sits down and he's wearing like these khaki shorts, and he's clearly pissed himself. And it happens to guys. You're not gonna like it, but after a certain age, sometimes it happens to guys who are like 50, sometimes it happens to guys who are 60 or 70 even, but it happens to a lot of guys that they become incontinent, right? And I mean, there's a fucking reason that they sell Depends diapers, right? And not just men, women too. And so it's sort of like, okay, maybe that happened, and maybe he's like incontinent. I mean, it's fucking embarrassing and sad, but okay, but it was like the worst fucking moment to have this episode. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
As he like pisses his pants and sits down and listens to the superior black man with the superior penis size. Good God, man. That was just, oh man. I saw it like times. And on the one hand, I have this itch to see it like 10 times more. And on the other hand, I never want to see it ever again. Because on the one hand, it's like, so pathetic. You just feel as a man that this is just a low point for our entire sex. You know what I mean? And on the other hand, it's sort of like that filmmaker Neil Breen that you were showing.
Yeah.
By the way, that guy's a fucking genius.
Oh, he is. He is. And all of his movies have that same feel where you almost feel like you're in a dream while watching. Like, you don't feel like you're watching a dream. You feel like you're in a dream watching his movie. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how it would be to take acid and watch that shit.
Oh, man, I don't even want to think about that. Just even thinking about that fucks with my head a little bit.
That would be awesome, man. That would be like, I mean, that would be a peak trip.
I'd have to say it'd be a funner mushroom trip. I've never taken acid, but I would say mushrooms would be really fun with that. By the end of it, you'd be explaining how all of us are Neil Breen, and it's really just a story of the average everyman, that's been in every agency and knows how to hack any car and all that shit. Yeah, that was a movie I watched with my friends. That's a good one for having the guys around, having a few drinks, just watching a Neil Breen movie. It's a good fucking time.
Yeah, no, well, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the company of other people around. I have to stare at it. I mean, it's just beyond. Like, I loved how he was like talking about the agencies he worked for. Like, I was like, what the fuck agencies is he talking about? I mean, there are enough real ones, but he doesn't need to make up shit. But he makes up this weird crap. And oh man, it was. And the medals, he was like the Congressional Medal of Honor, the Meritorious something medal, and then the Honorable Meritorious Medal. I mean, he used the word meritorious like 3 times while describing these medals. And I don't think that word is even used in any medal.
It's just the medal of, yeah.
It's just fucking wild, man. I gotta watch his movies. I've never heard of the guy until this.
Oh man, you're gonna have fun with that. You're welcome. What's funny? There was a few times where, like maybe over the past year and a half, or since the time I've known you, where I thought to myself, man, I wonder if Coach has ever seen Neil Breen. I've got to show him sometime. He has a couple of other movies. One where he plays a twin brother, so he plays 2 roles in the movie. And he uses that shitty fucking twin brother effect they used in like the late 80s and early 90s with like the green screen. And he has like a fake fucking beard the entire time. And the fake beard looks awful. And yeah. And the thing is he gets way more confident in his later, like there's more on-scene footage in the video you saw, right? But in his later videos, he goes full green. Like he has an entire like massive studio that is a huge, just big green screen. So he's like flying across the screen and shit, and there's all these explosions. It gets pretty fucking out there.
Well, I saw his Wikipedia, which I assume that he himself wrote up.
Probably, yeah.
Am I to understand he's basically a real estate agent who makes films as a hobby?
Yeah.
Is that basically it?
I think so, yeah. I mean, his films come off as labors of love. That's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't characterize it as labors of love. I mean,
passion project, psychosis maybe. Dude, you can't even just buy this movie either. Like he's such a stodgy bastard. He wants you to like you basically have to send him an invoice through PayPal for him to mail you a burned copy of his movie on DVD. Doesn't fuck around with the internet at all.
I'm gonna do that. Fuck that. Yeah.
It's worth it.
I hope I get it. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to do that. Because, I mean, I'd actually feel bad, like, doing a torrent and downloading it. I mean, because I mean, see, like, you steal, like, a movie, from a studio or whatever, fuck them, right? A streaming service, Netflix, fuck them. But this guy, I'd actually feel bad. I would be like, oh, he earned his $5. I'm going to send it to him,
You see the work and how much work one person had to go through to make that movie. You go, okay, yeah. But when it's a studio, it's like some soulless machine that just shit out this movie. I'm not going to give a fuck about it. But when it's some guy's project.
I produce movies. I produce movies. I know exactly how hard it is. One guy doing a picture, fuck that.
Oh, I've tried a few times. I had a really neat idea. But it was one of those things where I wrote everything before categorizing what I had. You kind of have to do inventory on what type of effects you can use, like what practical you have in front of you. And I had all of these ideas to do shit where I had no idea how I would get it across. I wanted to do a story about a guy that he either has schizophrenia or he's legitimately haunted by a demon. And the demon just plays all these jokes on him throughout the entire story. So it's basically a buddy story where the straight man is the protagonist trying to exorcise the demon that is his antagonist, basically. Like he constantly plays tricks on him, like smacking a girl's ass when they walk down the street, and the chick thinks it's him because it was him, but in his head it's the demon. Or the opening scene, I think maybe you'll like this. The opening scene is the main character waking up and there's just a bunch of dead bodies. The place is covered in blood, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I just murdered a bunch of people." And then at some point, as he's like trying to get all the shit to clean, he just like blinks his eyes and it's all gone except for the guy laughing in front of him, like, "I fucking got you, you motherfucker!" And he's like sweating bullets because he thinks he has to dispose of like a handful of bodies, and he realizes it's just yet another trick by this trickster demon. But
Well, I beg to differ. I think the idea is striking, but it would be much better if he actually had killed them all. Then
that
you
would,
got something.
yeah, I kind of wanted that to be the twist at the end, where at the end, no, he was just schizophrenic and all of his visions were, legitimate, even though, like, it would be funnier if he actually had this demon, but no, that was all in his head. Yeah.
I mean, I would start off that scene exact same setup. Like he wakes up with a whole bunch of bodies around, but they're real. and the demon is like talking to him, and you watch him dispose of it. In like a quick montage kind of situation, right? In the dialogue between the demon and the character, you realize the dynamic as he's mopping up all these dead bodies, and
And
that would
that's
make it really interesting because after that, the whole movie is like anything can happen. If you open up with the guy having murdered like a dozen people, I mean, fucking anything can happen, right? And
yeah.
so you, as the audience, would be incredibly tense the whole time, and at the same time, with the demon, this is actually a really good idea, by the way. I'm not blowing sunshine up your ass. I'm
I
telling you
appreciate
for
it.
real.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be like really dynamic for the audience because they would be laughing at the shit that the demon said, right? But at the same time, they'd be like, "What the fuck is going to happen next?" And of course, is this guy crazy or is he truly demonically possessed? You know, and that kind of like uncertainty for the audience and periodic bursts of humor to relieve the tension, but at the same time, it accentuates the tension. That would be really, really strong. I'm not, like I said, I'm being really sincere. This is a really good idea.
Yeah, I wrote quite a bit for it. It's called "Take Me to the Shaman." The idea for it, because it's supposed to be kind of like a lighthearted buddy movie, but the tones of it are super dark. And what gives him the idea of exercising the demon is he's watching TV and he's like passed out and he's watching an infomercial, and there's just this. It's like a Miss Cleo type person, like I'm so in tune with nature, and it's a shaman. And he gets this idea of like we have to go on this road trip, and it's a road trip for them to go and meet with this spiritual leader so they can be exorcised their demons. But of course, the spiritual leader is going to be full of shit, and yeah, I have it all mapped out in my head. But you know how it is. The translation from mind to paper is always a difficult task.
But this is a really, really good idea. I mean, that opening scene is a grabber. Okay, I mean that's a fucking grabber.
That's how you start off a fucking movie.
That exactly right. Yeah, a room full of dead bodies, and the guy who probably did it or did it wakes up and like, oh fuck, what did I do? And has to start cleaning up. Yeah, that's a winner. Yeah, it would have to be in some place where it would be conceivable to dispose of like I don't know a dozen bodies or some shit like that.
Yeah,
Or you
no.
could just set the whole thing on fire. That would be easiest.
Yeah, just sprinkle some crack on them. Say the cops did it. In America, there could be a pleasant way. Well, we'll just, make this appear like it was racially fueled.
Yeah.
That could be like a joke throughout the whole thing at how he gets away with it every single time. He just makes it appear that it was racially motivated, and they run with that story. That could be a good.
What happens if the demon is black?
Oh, dude, that'll get me canceled, bro.
No, that's why it would be funny.
Oh man, no, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe we'll go with a black demon. Oh.
Yeah, like he's like I don't know. I mean, how do you picture the character? Is he a slacker? Is he like a little up and coming yuppie? What is he?
Okay, so this character is basically like a janitor for life at a local like community college, and I imagined this the demon is represented by a really pale guy in a suit. And he has like kind of a red and black like suit that he always wears, long ass arms.
I see it totally different.
Yeah.
I see it like some Andy Samberg. What's his name? That guy.
Okay.
And like Tracy Jordan or Tracy Morgan. Whichever his real name.
Yeah.
He'd be the demon. Yeah. But
I could see that.
And what would be funny is like he's like a nice white liberal kind of thing. And he descends into racism towards the demon.
Oh, dude, that would be good. He's legitimately,
yeah. He'd be like, screaming at him at the end, shut up, you fucking N-word, and like shit like that. And it would be just like to blow the heads off the lids. You know what I'm saying? That would be fucking funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is, I have so many projects, but every once in a while, I'll just get a spark of creativity to start working on one of them. Who knows? Maybe I'll do that tonight.
That's the key issue. That's what separates. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's what separates the boys from the men. You got to stick with it for like however long it takes you. Usually, it takes like a couple of months, maybe 4 months. I mean, but you really got to crack down and really do it. That's what separates the boys from the men, man. I hate to say it. Because everybody's got great ideas.
And
Everybody's got really great ideas.
And maybe, just maybe, if we go on lockdown again, which I think is going to happen, I'll have something to do. Yeah. Could be a nice project.
Yeah. I mean, this is Take Me to Your Shower. That's fucking funny, man.
Yeah, I like ideas like that. I'm an ideas guy, I never come to fruition with most of them, but I come up with a lot of like random ideas and just throw them in the Rolodex for later.
Oh, but it would be so goddamn funny to do like that. I mean, you see where I'm coming from, because I see where you're coming from. There was a show a while back. I forget the name of it. It was executive produced by Kevin Smith. Chat, help us out here. It was a TV show about this guy who was actually the son of the devil, or his soul had been pledged to the devil, or some shit like that. And so he was hired by the devil. What was it called?
Reaper. It had what's that guy? Ray Wise from Twin Peaks was the devil.
Yeah.
That guy's such a. I rarely go into like when I'm like, this guy's so good as an actor. I love Ray Wise, like as Leland in Twin Peaks, but especially in that show. I wouldn't even watch the fucking. I had no interest in it, but Ray Wise as the devil is fucking great.
Yeah. His reaction shots were incredible. And his little asides, his little like throwaway lines, I blame myself or shit like that. He'd say, it was just so fucking funny, because it was like, yeah, you could totally see that. I mean, I adored his performance, and I agree with you. I sort of like skipped through the rest of the TV show and just to watch his performances because they were just so good. But you were thinking like a devil in like a white guy in a white suit.
Mm-hmm.
But like imagine like a black guy, but I don't know if he would be like a gangbanger or what, or like a Drake figure. You tell me, what do you think would be funniest?
I see him being a like kind of a yuppie demon, right? Like he's just classy. He's got like a nice suit, because the main character is not rich or wealthy at all. He's gonna be poor as fuck. So him showing up like a put together, well dressed gentleman kind of rubs in his face like the impoverished lifestyle that he lives in.
I'm thinking like a different direction. I'm thinking, what if this guy is like a Brooklynite? The guy, the character, the main character.
Yeah.
He's like a Brooklynite, like or like in Silicon Valley, like trying to go up the ladder, and see, he's so repressed, because that's what would make it funny. He's like repressed, because if he's just a janitor, what the fuck is he gonna do?
Yeah, the misery isn't funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But if he's like socially repressed because of his job, because he has to fit in, right? And imagine him getting called in to the HR department of his, I don't know, publishing house or IT startup company, wherever the fuck. And he suffers one of these attacks, and he's trying to control his impulses and control the demon while he's getting this bullshit talk about racism or systemic racism from the guy, right? It would be screamingly funny. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like if he has like a Freudian slip and he's talking about, say he's about to say that black men are superior and he accidentally says inferior to like a group of people and it goes silent. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because like one of the funniest things is the social rules that we all live by. We all kind of like hate them. And we all recognize that we have some of these social rules, and some of them are ridiculous. And see, to make fun of those social rules, especially now with this whole Stalinist shit that's like spreading out, like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on in the United States, man? I mean, it's like, they've fucking gone mental. I mean, really, what do normal people say in the States? Because from here in Europe, it sounds insane. You tell me.
People are just happy to be out, from what I can tell. It's weird. I'm in California and I'm talking to average people, and 90%, like I maybe if I'm being conservative, 80%, but 90% of the people, when, you know, I'll joke about my mask and I'm like, oh, when I used to say that the mask was slipping, this wasn't always what I was talking about. You know, I have my little quips about my mask falling off my face when I'm bringing shit. And almost every single, I don't even think, besides the one time a lady was like, no problem. Every other time they would go off on an aside and be like, dude, we all know those masks are bullshit. We're sorry you guys have to fucking wear them. And then they'll just go on about how COVID doesn't exist and the whole thing's fucking stupid. And this is in California, you know, where we're supposed to supposedly be like one of the ground zeros, where shit's out of control, you know?
Well, yeah, not only that it's supposed to be out of control, but also people in California are supposed to be incredibly sensitive about all that shit.
Yeah, Northern California is so much different than what most people think of, like, Californians being. It's very... I wouldn't say it's a Republican state, but this is a state that's really into... I'd say it's like a libertarian county. Like, most people here just want to grow their weed and be left the fuck alone.
Oh, then you guys are a lot more like, I don't know, like Idaho or someplace like that. Yeah, because I grew up in Southern California.
Yeah.
Southern California, they're all retards.
Yeah,
you know? It's like in the fucking water, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know somebody that constantly wants me to visit in Southern California. I'm good. Not only do I not want to, I don't want to commute to that place. I don't even want to fucking be there. You come to me.
No.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm good.
No, I mean, like, I'm telling you, I'm born and raised there. I know what I'm talking about. Southern California, the so-called Southland. Oh, everything from Santa Barbara to San Diego. Oh, man. It's like...
It's really ironic, too, that they strong-arm the entire fucking state. Like, that's why I really don't believe in democracy or the elections or any of it, because everybody here disagrees with a rather large majority with the direction of the state. And it's fucking infuriating to constantly watch a bunch of people who are probably clinically retarded make decisions on the behalf of a bunch of people whose lifestyles they do not understand at all. Like, we don't just...
You said retarded. You know, that's discrimination against the mentally challenged.
Not in the state of California anymore. The state of California as of a few weeks ago, has removed discrimination protections in the state constitution.
Oh yeah, I saw that. What the fuck? Oh
well,
my god!
You see, with those protections in place, they made a note in those laws originally to not give any preferential treatment based on race. So they had to remove that so they can give people preferential treatment based on race. But with that, they also had to get rid of the discriminating against part.
The only way to fight racism is to be racist?
Yep. We're going to have separate but equal fucking water fountains before you know it.
Oh, man. Yeah. You know, the United States is going the way of South Africa.
It is. I didn't think it was going to get this bad. I always joked about it, but it's not very funny.
Fast.
Yeah, it happened like overnight.
Yeah, I thought that, you know, this level would happen in 10 years. I was fucking wrong, you know? Yeah, and I don't even want to think about what's going on insofar as the indoctrination of children is concerned in the public school system. I mean, Trump is talking about opening schools again in September or whatever the fuck. I'm thinking, holy shit, do you really want to do that? Because right now everybody's like being homeschooled and they're actually probably learning some shit. But they go to school, they're gonna be shoveling fistfuls of this crap down the throats of kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And they're all gonna go psycho. I mean, how would you feel if you, just because you're a white guy, you're automatically a racist piece of shit? What about kids' self-esteem and all this shit that they've been talking about for the last 30 years? What the fuck?
Yeah, it creates the alternative to what they're trying to promote. It fosters resentment, creates a dynamic that is against what, you know, I was growing up with. When I was going to school and I was a kid, they would tell you, hey man, everybody could be you. It could be you. You should treat others how you would want to be treated. Simple shit. And then now they're like, okay, well, also throw in this equation of their race and your perceived stereotype of the of the troubles they must have had if they were black. Like, it is racist to go, oh, you're black, you must have had a problem with police. Oh, well, yeah. I'm not saying because you look like a criminal, just because you're black, you know? I mean, it's that type of shit where they don't teach. Yeah, they don't even teach. Racism. Yeah, they don't teach. What do they call it? The soft bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah, well, you know, George W., he was right about that.
He was.
You know?
To his credit.
Because, because, like, look, I went to college in the early 90s, And I remember at the time, you know, a lot of the black kids, I mean, they even admitted it, that they knew that they shouldn't be there. There was one guy I talked to who admitted it, okay? He said, I shouldn't be here, you know, because he couldn't cut the work. And, you know, but he was there because he was black. And so what happens is, and I can tell you this for a fact, in like the New York corporate scene, in the LA agencies, they'd always have a black guy who was like really like he had the patina, but he didn't have the skills. So he was like sort of like brought along, you know, and he was like part of the team, but he was an incompetent, and everybody knew it. And it's like the saddest fucking thing. Yeah, that's the kind of culture that they're going to be creating, man, and that's going to fuel just resentment among black people, especially. Jesus Christ, man, what a balls up.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, did you hear that Tucker's writer? Or you must have talked about it.
No, go ahead.
Tucker's head writer, Tucker Carlson's head writer, got doxxed by CNN as being a 4chaner. You didn't hear?
That doesn't surprise me at all. But no, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, he resigned, as a matter of fact, from the Tucker show, which is a real shame because that show is fucking well written. Those fucking rants, man.
Yeah.
Fucking gold.
Yeah, that was what was good about the show. This might have killed it.
Well, we'll see. And I think also it was like he resigned and wasn't fired. And so maybe it's sort of like okay, we'll just distance for a while, but keep on the working relationship kind of situation. Who knows? But CNN broke the story. They were the ones who doxed it. They doxed him. And somehow they tracked his posts on 4chan, and his posts in and of themselves were funny, but they weren't like racist or anything like that. Even though the names of the threads were pretty racist, but his comments were just funny. You know, I don't have any in front of me right now. I'm not in front of my computer.
I have this CNN article. You know, wouldn't you know it? It's Oliver Darcy, the same guy that came against Alex Jones. You remember the rat? The guy, yeah. Same guy.
Nice piece of shit. Somebody should do that to him.
Somebody
should, comb through his entire social media presence, weaponize autism, for crying out loud, and find something on this fucker because you know that he's got shit.
Well, that's just the thing is, I'm sure that's already happened, and even if it did, we all know that the standards aren't applied unilaterally. This guy could have called for full-on killing children, and they would go, oh, well, what was the context? Well, maybe it was a joke, or, whenever it's one of their own people, they have to constantly shift the fucking goalpost back.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I hate to say it, yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, anyway, Coach.
So you think, last question.
Go for it.
When Civil War?
When Civil War? I think my last prediction was March 23rd. No, that was the prediction for when social media is going to just cut everybody. I think it's going to be a little before that. So let's say January 2021.
Yeah, I think that the first fighting is going to happen in December.
People are going to get really pissed around the holiday season.
No, because no matter what happens, people are going to be broke, and nobody's going to believe the election, whichever way it goes. Nobody's going to believe it.
Yeah, there is so much distrust out there just in the public sphere that I don't know any outcome is going to lead to catharsis. This is going to lead to climax. So,
yeah, a good way to put it. Yeah, but people hate each other too much. They just want to kill each other at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it has nothing to do about ideology or politics. It's just to get the population to kill each other.
Well, come on, seriously. Could you really live with like some of these libtards, like imagine this was the real world and we're living in an apartment, 4 on 4, right? What do you think would happen? We'd hate each other after like a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
With these, nasal voiced little retarded libtards. And they'd think that we're just a bunch of fascist, intolerant buffoons. We'd kill each other after 2 weeks. I mean, think about the real world. Imagine that happening. Oh well. Listen, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for having me on as always. Chat, I'm gone. Hit 1 if you're happy to see me go, and hit 2 if you love me. Take it easy, guys.
Ah, damn it. I was trying to kick him right before he left. Just to give chat what you always wanted. Thanks, Coach. I think maybe I was muted for a second because I did have a thing to say, but it's all good, man. Always a pleasure to have you. Keeps for an interesting and engaging stream. Also, I hadn't heard about this story about Tucker Carlson's writer, so I feel like that's a good place to get started here. Lots of ones, lots of sea of ones. So you know what I'm gonna do, chat? Since we were talking to Coach for about an hour, grab myself a beer. We'll keep the show on the road. Like I said, looks like it's gonna be a long stream tonight, so I'm gonna go get myself a nice beverage to help, alleviate the working life. Crazy stuff. Here. Nutty stuff, chat. Nutty stuff. Alright, I can go ahead and voice chat. There you go, chat. Let's do a shot. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a beer. I'll drink a beer. Alright, let's no, I don't have my fucking lighter.
Get the fuck back! Get the fuck back!
Been a long week, chat, but I have myself a nice day off coming along the way. Very excited. By the way, I'll read out the super chats. I didn't want to interrupt. Let's see. We had Rich D with $2. Piss Pertarianism. I'd never heard about this guy. I saw the. Oh, I forgot to take vibrate off. Put that on silent. Hold on a second. And do this shit upside down. There we go. Yeah, I'd only seen that Medicare had talked about it, but I hadn't gotten a chance to watch it yet. Rich D with another $2. Just playing Wild Smile. I'm a joker. I know, man. You're good. You're in the right place, buddy. You're in the right place. Let Me Die with $1.99. Isn't this just the plot for 21 First Jump Street? I've never, or 21 First. 21st Jump Street. I've never seen it. Rich D with $2. It's the juice in all caps. Thank you very much. And then Rich D with $2. Let's do a shot. Well, I got a beer here, buddy. And let's take a look at this atrocious article. I mean, I'm assuming it's atrocious. It was written by the fucking Rat Man himself. Bring up this clip real quick to give you guys a little bit of a refresher. Cheers. Your show with Davey is cool. Thank you. Thank you. And then fuck you both also. So, now I feel at home. Now I feel at home. Let's see, Oliver Darcy. Funny, it just doesn't show up in the recommended anymore. After you type in Oliver Darcy, nothing. Weird. Let's see, that's not what I'm looking for. Here we go.
You're just look at you. Look, you are literally an anti-American, anti-free speech coward. You're going to go down the history books at the Criminal News Network. This is one of the main people right here who thinks you have no memory, who sits there and lobbies. Show him. That sits there and lobbies people to take other news off. Claiming they're fake when CNN is the fakest WMD, Gulf Arab state dictatorship funded. Unbelievable. Hey, come on over here, Drew. I want to get this guy on tape.
I want to get this guy.
This is unbelievable. I was literally saying I don't see the Criminal News Network here, but indeed we do. Right there at the front of the line of the trough to try to get in there and try to shut down conservative libertarian speech. And of course he comes from the loins of Glenn Beck, the king. I mean, look at those eyes, folks. If you want to see the eyes of a rat, no, seriously, just
you do look like a rat,
look
sir.
at those
There's
eyes.
no denying.
Look at that slobbering to the system.
Here, Chad. You tell me. We'll go through camera 1 and camera 2. Warski fan number 1 with $5. Hey buddy, mind playing this for me? It's about 10 minutes. But you in chat will enjoy it, trust me. Well, we'll take a look a little bit later. I don't want to get too derailed. That'll happen from time to time. But I appreciate the link in the $5. We'll take a look later. Don't let me forget when I'm wrapping up the show. Just remind me in chat. Let's see here. Just rat. Okay. Hold on, chat. Work with me here. Here we go. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. I don't see a resemblance. I think Alex Jones is maybe just an asshole.
And the criminals at CNN, all their warmongering and death and all their fake news, and then running around trying to police the internet and try to shut people down. And then you think people are so stupid. On CNN a week later you say no one's censoring anybody, no one's pushing for censoring, and then you say that Trump is the one attacking the press when all he does is stand up to your lies. Just look at this guy's eyes, man. That is who will ruin your life.
That's who will ruin your life, at least if you don't say the thing he likes. Hold on, chat. Is it just me? Hold on. Camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. Are you sure he looks like a rat? Chat, do you guys think he looks like a rat? I think that might be a little mean. I mean, rats can be decent pets.
Him and people like Stelter. That.
I don't know.
Is who want to look at that smile.
Alex, you know, I'd say, so I've known Oliver quite a long time. Good to see you again, Oliver. Good to see you, Chuck. Good to see you. You know, he's from Fresno, and he knows better. Because, you know, in Fresno, we actually believe in free speech. And here he is censoring people and doing
censoring people, doxing people.
That is the thought police.
Beforehand, he worked for Fresno.
Maybe this is right around the time where you realize when an old associate of yours goes, "Oh yeah, you know, this asshole knows better than to censor people off the internet. What a piece of shit." I don't know. I mean, are we sure this isn't a picture of Oliver Darcy just before he got into news? Is this an old picture? Because maybe we've never seen a rat, chat. Because
people in the conservative movement helped this guy's career along, but now he's decided that now that he works for CNN, he's going to go and try and shut down voices.
Look,
he is.
He
is shutting down voices. Funny, yeah. Smile big, asshole, because the rules don't apply to you. Here's a link to his groundbreaking article. Oh, really saving civilization there, Darcy. God, what would we do without you? You know what we'd be able to do? We'd be able to have a fucking good time without you fucking our lives up. Wouldn't that be nice? Isn't that something? One of those people who just makes the world a shittier place across the board. Do you think this guy ever brings a smile to anybody's face? Tell somebody, hey, you know something? I just wanted to say, you did great at this. This food is amazing. Thank you. You think he's ever complimented a person? You think he's ever just done something nice to help somebody with expectation of nothing in return? Do you think so? Let's take a look at this amazing article from Oliver Darcy, the gatekeeper of all that is true, working for CNN Business. What business is it of yours, Darcy? Let's find out. Editor's note, this article quotes racist, homophobic, and sexist language, much of which has not been censored. Well, thank you for the trigger warning there, you brilliant mind, you Mensa grade fucking... Ooh, I'm gonna get pissed. Chat, I'm gonna go full on Super Saiyan. We're gonna... After we're done, it's going to be ma'am. You will address me as ma'am after this. I'm going to go full macho man tranny savage over somebody. I don't care. You think that maybe I should do that? That'll give me an immunity. Then I can be a dick. I'll just say that I'm a communist. I'll say that I'm a woman. And then Oliver Darcy can't say shit. You know who else doesn't bring a smile to anyone's face? Ouch. 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 I knew, though, I wasn't lying when I've said Oh man, I need to show this guy Neil Breen. I just know that he'll love this fucking dude. Anyway, here it goes. The top writer for Fox News host Tucker Carlson has for years been using a pseudonym to post bigoted remarks on an online forum that is a hotbed for racist, sexist, and otherwise offensive content. CNN Business learned this week. They learned this. They learned it, chat. I guess we were going to learn us something. Why, though? Come on, you guys enjoy going at him in chat a little bit, don't you? That's kind of the fun. Maybe I'm misreading things, but that's the way I take it. Anyway. Just this week, the writer, Blake Neff, responded to a thread started by another user in 2018 with the subject line, would you let a jet black African-American do LASIK eye surgery on you for 50% off? Neff wrote, I wouldn't get LASIKs from an Asian for free, so no. The subject line was not censored on the forum. That's good to know, Oliver. Good to know that there wasn't some fucking Tipper Gore tier pearl clutching bitch there to make sure that the fucking alphabet wasn't put into stars. What the fuck is this entire person's life? On June 5th, Neff wrote, black dudes staying inside playing Call of Duty is probably one of the biggest factors keeping crime down. That is an astute analysis, sir. Yikes. On the 24th of June, Neff commented, honestly, given how tired black people always claim to be, maybe the real crisis is their lack of sleep. That's funny. God forbid somebody be funny. On June 26th, Neff, this is pure fucking Dear Diary, hall monitoring bullshit. Dude, Oliver Darcy, sincerely, from the bottom of my soul, fuck you, man. Fuck you. You're such a fucking rotten, vile human piece of shit. This is what gets your fucking rocks off, is it? Do you like to hurt other people? You like to harass and intimidate other people? God, you know something, Chad? I don't avow anything, but I'm not shedding any fucking tear or losing a goddamn moment of sleep for anything that happens to this prick. Anything. Fuck you, buddy. I hope you get what's coming to you. I'm not saying anyone should do anything, but you know something? I hope the toxic shit that you injected into the holy zeitgeist, the public sphere, our awareness, our collective mind, and you're pumping it full of fucking venom. You're weakening my brothers and sisters. You're turning us all into a bunch of calloused, cold-hearted people. A net negative. Pure fucking evil. And you know what's even more frustrating? I bet you he doesn't even realize how evil he really is. How this type of shit really causes things to get worse. Do you think? Press 1 in chat if you think that Oliver Darcy has never done anything good in his life. That all he does is sit in front of his computer and act like a bitch online. God forbid you get a hobby. God forbid that you find something that brings joy to somebody's life. Make a joke. Make a shitty video. Go out and, I don't know, donate to, I don't know what rich people do to feel better about themselves. They donate to charity, right? They never donate their time or go to the fucking grocery store and say, hey, here's 10 grand. Everybody's groceries are for free tonight. You guys have a good night. Takes off. You know, nothing like that. Never goes to a struggling school and buys them new books. Nothing like that. This is how he makes the world a better place, quote unquote. A better place. Lots of ones in chat, Oliver. A lot of people that think that you have contributed nothing but evil to our world. Imagine this being your fucking legacy, chat. Imagine suppressing other people and their ability to express themselves and seeing that make you not only a man, but a better man. Oliver, you wouldn't know a fucking man if it was railing you from behind. Fuck you, buddy. This shit gets me pissed off, man. Harassing a writer. A dude's a writer, and you had to what? He wrote the things that you didn't like. A fucking wrong thinker. A dissident. And again, I need to remind you that this whole right versus left false dichotomy that we live in has nothing to do with politics or ideology. Not a damn thing. At the end of the day, the people arguing don't have a dogmatic belief on capitalism and the other side doesn't have like this high-held belief of Marxism. It's neither of that. They just picked a side that they reluctantly took, and then they just go feverish defending. That's really the thing. If you ask an average, reasonable person their stance on politics, they'll kind of give it to you, and they just don't really care. Because at the end of the day, like we said, you reluctantly pick a side, so why do you give a shit so much? Why do you care about Trump or Biden when it's all bullshit to begin with? It's all pandering on both sides. I don't know. Cat is pissed at Oliver. No, she's sleeping. My cat is, anyway. Final noodle clip. I did record a video when I got home because she was so talkative. She wanted her wet food right when I got home. She wanted it hours ago. Didn't Oliver Darcy stalk Soph as well? It's stalk an underage girl? Did he really? It wouldn't surprise me. Didn't CNN stalk Trump from the bushes? Like they filmed him from the bushes like a bunch of weirdos? Soph. Oh my god. Look at this picture of this guy. Holy shit. You took this picture and thought, yeah, that looks good. Send it in. Send it in, folks. This is a good picture. My mistake. I was clicked on the wrong one. No, I mean, my bad. I can't tell them apart. The resemblance is uncanny. You took this picture and said that's a good picture of me. That's a fucking one take. That's all we need. Fucking, I look like horse shit anyway. Why bother? That's the image I get, or that's the thought that comes across my mind when I see a picture like this. Fuck it, who cares? We're just CNN. What the fuck is this picture? The rat is cute, though. You're right. Like I said, rats are resourceful. So I'm not seeing anything regarding Soph. Should I check? What is it? I forget the name. I don't know the name of the channel because I just don't really follow that person. I know when everyone was going through the whole, like, oh man, Soph is so cool and based. Look, I don't need some kid to tell me shit I already know. But she's wearing a burqa and talking about Islam being bad. Oh, wow. Well fucking done. Jeez. Yeah, I've never heard that take before. Maybe... See, I've been a cynical asshole my entire life, but it really just dawned on me recently. He's a weasel, not a rat. Yeah, right? You're probably right. Lieutenant Corbis. Or I'll just type Corbis. It's kind of big if he has one of these articles about this. I think advocating for the censorship of a fucking child, like that's low. And this is the type of shit he does. It's just an example, right? Give you a for instance. Saturday night news dump from Blaze Media. The new company formed after CRTV and Glenn Beck's The Blaze merged. McGinnis has been a CRTV host. This is the second high-profile departure from Blaze Media. He's basically trying to get Glenn Beck, who's an absolute cuck, by the way, has bent the knees so many times. I have absolutely no respect for him, especially for how he threw Breitbart in front of the bus. Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you, too. Anyway. Bit of an aside. Just saying how I really feel. But yes, trying to get everybody deplatformed is this guy's bread and butter. That's his passion in life. Like I said, fuck getting a hobby or having fun with your friends. You gotta go out there and police the internet like an absolute modern day Tipper Gore. Oh man, I do want to watch Alex Jones berate this guy a little bit more. Let's just skip to like 7 minutes in. Yeah, let's go back from when he thought this was hella funny.
Oliver, quite a long time. Good to see you again, Oliver. Good to see you, Chuck. Good to see you.
A week later, you say no.
Yeah, here we go.
Stay the fuck back.
Sort of like a before and after Tucker. So here's this is Oliver Darcy with a smirk. And then here's him about 7 minutes in. After 7 minutes of being confronted for doing the things that he does. All that's being done is he's being held accountable. A man is coming to him right to his face and saying, this is what you did to me. And he just couldn't handle reality. 7 minutes of being faced with who you've become. And this is how painful it is for Oliver. Look at the look in his eyes.
CNN's like government cheese. It literally is just force-fed to everyone everywhere. Everyone's sick of it. It's force-fed in public schools. It's force-fed in bars and hotels, making you sit there and watch it.
And we're still not fucking
bro. They sure do. Just like they lied about babies in incubators and the WMDs and the
I don't know.
And just like the public doesn't like
one goal I have, chat. It's added to the bucket list. I am pissing on this fucker's grave. I am going to outlive this guy. I'm pulling a Jim Cornette here. I will outlast you just so I can find your grave and piss on it, you sack of shit. That is my goal in life. My purpose. I am going to find where they bury your worthless ass, and I'm going to piss on it. I'm probably going to drop a deuce, too. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? We'll allow myself to keep the options open. Watch a little bit more, and then let's. You know what? Fuck it. We've seen this clip before. Let's get back to the article. On June 26th, Neff wrote that only people who care about changing the name of the NFL's Washington Redskins are white libs and their university-educated pets. That's 100% right. All over the course of 5 years, Neff has maintained a lengthy thread in which he has derided a woman and posted information about her dating life that has invited other users to mock her and invade her privacy. Get a load of this fucking dude. Did you not just get this guy fired? So it's okay when you do it. You can't make a joke about somebody's dating profile that I'm assuming was public. But, if you say the wrong thing, you visit the wrong websites, and we find out about it, time to fucking cancel him, right? What a seething pile of shit. CNN Business contacted Neff for comment Thursday night after he or someone acting on his behalf passed that email to Fox News spokespeople. A network spokesperson on Friday morning told CNN Business that Neff had resigned. A Fox News spokesperson said Carlson could not be reached for comment. Neff did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder why he didn't have anything to fucking say to you, pricks. God damn, the level of disgust I have for these people is unending. I'm a pretty nice guy, too, by the way. You might not know that, but this shit, seeing someone harass an innocent person, really pisses me off. Really hits that nerve a little bit. Oh, what a pricker. What a prick. I really liked the monologues in the beginning. That was the best thing on the show. For me at least, I have no reason to watch Tucker Carlson if the monologues will be different. If that guy is not going to be there. You see, Fox, if this is the road you're going to go down, where you're just going to bend the knee every time CNN asks you, fuck your entire network. You should have stood behind him. You should have told Darcy to go fuck himself. This is what you should have done. We stand behind freedom of speech. Imagine that. But no, even Fox News, the woke conservative commentators, they find something bad about your career. God forbid. Again, God forbid that a business have your fucking back when shit like this happens. You know what a lot of mom and pop businesses would do? Something like this happen? They tell the guy to kick rocks. No, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to let you come in and strong-arm me to control my business and the decisions that I make to benefit my business. Get the fuck out of here. You don't need that shit here. This is the 1920s. You're not running moonshine. You're not sure as fuck aren't the mob. You wrote this stuff on the teleprompter. Why are you surprised they have the same owners? I'm not surprised at all. I'm not. They're just as bad as one another. But still, a person getting their livelihood taken away from them like this is disgusting. Show me where, again, all of these supposed evil people, all of the harm they've caused over the past 4 years. When you see the clips of cities burning, when you see clips of being beaten in the street, Is it white supremacists beating the fuck out of everybody, or is it 100% of the time a bunch of masked thugs? Some of them Antifa, obviously, but other people just want to fuck shit up. This has nothing to do with George Floyd or whatever the fucking previous cause was. They'll forget about this guy next week until they have to drudge up his name again in order to get social media points. Oh, we got another Philando Castile. We got another one to add to the list every time there's a black person is dead after an interaction with police. Even if they've tried to pull the guy's gun, even if they were just violently beating a person to death. Like, look, this is the type of shit we see for violent criminals. You know, when you'll notice that there aren't too many articles out there about people who have been violently beaten for no reason. If it doesn't add to the racial divide, trying to turn this class war into a race war, that's what they're trying to do, by the way. And I don't think most people are buying it. I think what's going to happen is there will be some extreme people on both sides that go down and hurt each other, and then the reasonable people are just going to be done with both of them. Quiet young men who listen until it's time to decide. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't really trust Fox all that much, but I liked Tucker. I still like Tucker. I didn't respect it when he bent the knee to Biden, but I give him credit where it's due. Those monologues were fire. I should try to get a hold of this guy. Hold on, what's his name? Let's get him on the show. Oh man, it couldn't be worse than being outed as being on 4chan, right? Sons of bitches, every last one of them. But point was, this is a piece they'll run on a person that violently beats and murdered a child, an 80-year-old woman. This is what they'll do when he's set to be executed. But do you think, you remember Eric Clanton? This is a few years back. This is when things were starting to ramp up. But that professor from Diablo Valley, it's a community college that's somewhat close by. And he was a professor there, and he went to one of these protests. He went to several of these protests, but one of them in question, or the one in question, he went to and he smashed a guy over the head with a bike lock. Could have killed him. It seems that was his intention. Do you think that anybody in the media talked to the victim? The guy whose head got nearly broken in by the bike lock. Hell, they didn't even... I think maybe Tucker covered the story briefly, like offhand, but that story just got swept away, got jannied up. So no one gives a fuck about an innocent person when they get beaten, almost murdered. But when it's a literal... let me find the article again, just so you can really understand how sick these people are. Here we go. This is not justice. The ACLU. He raped and murdered a 16-year-old girl, beat an 80-year-old woman to death with a hammer. But they are outraged. The ACLU. Outraged. Well, I'm sure that number is a conservative estimate. Much higher, if not doubled. It's funny that I have that, I haven't played it in a while, but that satirical Democrat ad where they're basically calling for violence. Now it's a little too real, isn't it, chat? So he should be set free. That's what they're implying, yeah. They're basically saying, well, we shouldn't execute him because, you know, he has schizophrenia and dementia. I'll go ahead and read this to you guys real quick. That was why I switched over the original overlay. Sorry about that. Wesley Ira Perky violently raped and murdered a 16-year-old girl, then dismembered, burned, and dumped the young girl's body in a septic pond. He is also convicted in state court for using a claw hammer to bludgeon to death an 80-year-old woman who suffered from polio and walked with a cane. In 2003, Missouri found Perky guilty of kidnapping a child, resulting in the child's death, sentenced to death. Execution scheduled for July 15th, 2020. And now that he's about to be executed, the ACLU came forward to say, no, set him free. This is where we live. Innocent people. that's a great segue to our next story, by the way. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these links so I can tell what the fuck's on my screen. I don't need that up anymore. We have to take a look at that. Too many. Okay. We did briefly touch on this, but get a load of this. Breaking. Warrant served on St. Louis couple who defended private property. Rifle confiscated. So these violent psychopaths who were just live on air, on YouTube, on every streaming platform, showing them burning down cities. They show up to your property. If you pull out a gun, the government's coming and taking it from you. Oh, the protest? Well, they were peaceful demonstrators. Newspeak. Here it is, Chad. I thought it'd be a little funnier than this, but I'm not really laughing anymore. You know, I joke. I am still laughing a little bit, but I don't find it nearly as funny. So let's see here. I think we looked at it a little bit, but the point being that Attorney General Eric Schmidt came forward to say, no, we're taking care of this. We're going to make sure that they're held accountable. No, not the protest, not the peaceful demonstrators, and no, not the violent rioters. The people who were worried that the police who aren't answering their phones anymore, they should have had faith the police would have protected them. Just real sickening shit. This is what they focus on, chat. Here's the Shannon Bream post. Warrant reportedly served on St. Louis couple who stood outside their home with weapons as protesters approached. We're told weapons were seized. We've got a warrant and pictures, or we've got the warrant and pictures for you at 11. Okay. Now, that leads into this originally. Attorney General Eric Schmidt. Republican Party. Republican Party. Yeah, we briefly went over that already, but I felt like it was worth it. Republican Party. Shocker, right, chat? Absolute shocker. Well, you guys, you want to see something? Let's just say it'll bring joy to your hearts. There we go. Yeah, that's our next president right there.
Hey, oh, you're a big guy. Well, it's great to see you, honey. You look like 4. Hey, oh, you're a big guy. Well, it's great to see you, honey.
No questions. This is just a publicity stunt, okay? Crowds of supporters. I see literally nobody there. You know, I believe that's Joe Biden, but I don't see him, you know, sniffing some little girl's hair, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to see a little bit more data. We'll have to move that goalpost back, just like whenever you expose any evil on the internet. You got to provide more proof, even more proof. Now I need even more proof. Frustrating. Rich D with $5. If you ever pull your weapon, lay waste, make it worth it since you'll go away anyway. Isn't it sad that if we used to joke about this, like people would joke about this, that in California, if someone breaks into your house, they attack you, but you cannot fight back. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it would be like a joke. Now it's real. If somebody attacks you with a weapon, you're in trouble for defending yourself. You're not allowed to defend yourself. We will defend ourselves. Not anymore, Worski. Not anymore. This isn't Kanye West. At least President Kanye would be interesting. I would find a little bit of joy in that. Alright, let's bring this up real quick. It's an article, or not even an article, a post from Twitter. Mayor Paul Brodeur, mayor of the city of Melrose, husband and father. Are you sure you're not a stepfather, my dude? I have just been made aware that the following traffic sign is being displayed on Main Street. I have ordered that it be taken down immediately, and I'm taking steps to find out how this happened. I apologize to the residents of Melrose. Now, I don't think that was a protest thing. I think those normally say, buckle your seatbelts because the safety of all lives matter. It's said that for years. I've seen it myself. But now, isn't it fucking weird, chat, how saying that everybody matters is hate speech? The fuck? It would be funny if I wasn't living in this shitty version of 1984, where half of the world just decides to not believe their own eyes and ears. Is really, like, get a load of this, chat. I wish I was making this shit up. I do. Whites aren't legally allowed to defend themselves against blacks in South Africa. I didn't know that, but that does not surprise me in the slightest. Well, equality is dead. It was never about equality. People who wanted equality got it already. That's why cool people are cool. There's no problem. Nothing is preventing them from just being cool. But then you get these people that just, they have to be the victim. Only way they know how to live. Indoctrinated by school. That's what public school produces. Victims. Your mask is totally off at this point. Well, here, if it's not clear yet, let me, allow me to illuminate things. And yes, that is a real account, by the way.
Disgusting.
Get a load of this. Breaking: California to release 8,000 more inmates early due to COVID-19, in addition to the state's reduction of 10,000 inmates since the start of the pandemic. So they're going to lock all of us up, and they're releasing the criminals, right? If you defend yourself, it's becoming really clear, chat. You're incentivized to attack people. Because if you're defending yourself, you get in trouble, but if you're attacking somebody, it's okay. And then on top of that, the law-abiding citizen, if you want to still work, if you're willing to work, most people aren't willing to work. Apparently everywhere is fucking desperate. I didn't know this. Everyone wants to sit at home on their ass. You gave them the fucking golden ticket, and a lot of people are taking it. So no one's willing to work. People who are willing to work have to wear a stupid fucking mask that no one's buying into. The only reason people wear it is because it makes people who bought into the propaganda feel better. And, you know, they can't have their faith shaken at all. The only reason we wear it. Don't believe me, eh? Don't believe me? You think maybe I'm bullshitting you? I think I've got a decent track record, but I got something else for you. Yeah, get a load of this one, chat. Tire marks left on a new Pride crosswalk in West Vancouver. And police are investigating it as a hate crime. But if a child was being raped somewhere, they won't even report it. They won't even give a shit. But you know, what are they doing about 1984? They're canceling it. Everyone talking about 1984 lately, so I gave it a read. Halfway through chapter 1, and the main character dislikes all women, stating it was always the young women who were the most bigoted adherents to the party. Very problematic views. Had to put it down. Dangerous. Hashtag cancel 1984. This is satire, right? Because I honestly can't tell. It's too good or it's too frightening. It's anti-revolutionary propaganda. It has to go. Oh, we gotta burn that book, folks. We gotta burn that book. Oh, maybe I didn't have it ready. That's disappointing. I had a good jumping off point, but now I don't. Okay. Yeah, some of my shit just doesn't pop up apparently. I'm just watching. Some of these posts are so outrageous. It's really like living in a South Park episode. Here's a good piece for you guys. We love Colbert here, right? LA Times, Robert Lloyd says that late night interviews have become more like real conversations, and because hosts and guests are looking into the camera, we've placed into the middle of their virtual shared space rather than as a member of the audience. And the article headline is, if you're not paying attention to late night TV, you should. You should. Thank you, Stephen Colbert, Samantha Bee, Jimmy Fallon, and Trevor Noah, and the rest. Imagine not being good enough, not being better than Samantha fucking Bee, that you weren't included in the fucking first four names. Imagine being, what was that, James Corbin or what? That guy is so. There's nothing even to say about the guy. I have no comment, and that's arguably worse. It's time to watch late night TV. Dude, I'll take the bullet. You will not make me watch any of that unless I'm finding something to laugh at your ass with. I'm gonna laugh. I already had this pulled up. That's okay. We don't need to find it. But this will give you the same basic idea. AOC says defunding the police will require experimentation with public safety. Here we go. Our job as policymakers is to take the public's mandate and find plus create pockets to advance as much progress as possible. Progress takes a team of different roles. You don't criticize a pitcher for not being a catcher. We can respond in ways that don't undercut inept work. Impt work, meaning important. And by the way, the fact that people are scrambling to repackage this whole conversation to make it palatable for largely affluent white suburban swing voters again points to how much more editorial and structural power these communities have relative to others, just for awareness. Oh, man. What it's really going to take is experimentation and to ask, what if? What if? We got to experiment with public safety. Oh man, the Wayfair stuff. Yeah, we can get into that. Here's another great article that reminds you of how well everything's going. Wisconsin man targeting a white person killed motorcyclist, prosecutors say. Targeting a white person? You mean a racist attack? Police say a 27-year-old man intentionally slammed his pickup truck head-on into a motorcyclist because he was targeting a white person, quote-unquote, leaving the rider dead last week. Daniel Navarro allegedly swerved his father's 2004 Dodge Dakota pickup into the victim's path without braking on July 3rd. Authorities identified the deceased 55-year-old Philip Thiessen, a Marine veteran and former Virginia police officer who had retired from a career with the Wisconsin Department of Justice, where he investigated crimes against children. Does this feel targeted to you, chat? Do you think that he got you think he got Clinton or Arkansided? Sounds to me that this was a hit. How did you know he was white? Typically, people riding bikes, I mean, I don't know how late in the day it is, but they typically wear helmets, and it's difficult to really ascertain a person's race as you're driving a pickup truck or any car really down the street and trying to identify the race of the person that's approaching you and they're wearing a bike. Sounds to me that this was an assassination to me, chat. I saw this and I immediately said this is an assassination, and then I saw just now and sealed the deal for me. He was investigating crimes against children. After his retirement in 2018, he volunteered at a local food pantry. Oh, he volunteered? Wow, he's a good dude, apparently? Wow. Yeah, I gotta take him out. Unfucking believable. But yeah, this is making the rounds on a few conservative websites and no one else is really talking about it. Shocker. BuzzFeed News does have an article about it. A Wisconsin man allegedly killed a motorcyclist because he was white. Now, allegedly, of course. We got to keep the allegations in check. Here we go. This is the banger. Thank you, CNN. These are the type of people that you've created, right? We might have all had a few bad jokes, but none of us have hurt anybody. And we sure as fuck aren't under the mentality that we have to hurt people. Violence begets violence. He said Navarro chose a motorcycle instead of a car because he wanted the driver to die and not just to be injured or paralyzed. Navarro told detectives, and remember, this is still alleged, right? Navarro told detectives he's been the victim of racism from white people because he's Hispanic, and that people, or quote, people are going to have to die. Navarro said that if President Donald Trump and white people are going to create the world we're living in, he has no choice and that people are going to have to die. CNN. See, remember, they talk so much about how internet culture radicalizes people. This guy sounds like he's watching CNN. Sounds like he was watching MSNBC. Sounds like he was watching cable news. I bet you could find some evidence of this if they looked. But they're not going to look, chat. We all know that. Okay, so that's for a different segment later. For Doolittle, double down. Okay, so this is a lot of the... Oh, Oliver Darcy, you fucking rat. You piece of shit. I hope people remember you. I don't hope things bad happen to you, but what I do hope happens is that people in your community realize who you are, and they treat you accordingly. They treat you how you deserve. I believe in the golden rule, but more than that, I believe in, let's just call it the pyrite rule, where everybody should get what they deserve. People should treat you how you treat other people. And I really, really hope karma comes and bites him right on the fucking ass like he deserves. See, I saw this, and this is more division bullshit. You know, and I'm sure some people would identify, think this is a good idea. But when you see posts like this from conservatives that, oh, well, certain people created this environment, it just creates more animosity from one side to the other. It doesn't help anybody. This does not benefit anybody. This is just somebody scoring. This is essentially going, Republicans are bad, but doing the other thing, the other side. I, for one, do not believe the elections are honored. I do not believe at all that they are genuine. I know, crazy idea. Crazy. And I've put it to you like this before, chat, but in case some of you weren't watching that episode, I'll say it again. If you owned a country, or you owned an industry that runs a country, would you advocate to give those people a voice? No. You would create a system to keep the populace constantly arguing with one another on things they don't even understand. This never was about ideology. It never was about politics. This is pitting the population against itself, because power comes through the population. And if they can get you to think, oh, well, these guys in this blue state over here, and this is to make you think in groups of only two, that there are only two options, when the real option is that there are an infinity of possibilities, of different iterations of people's lives, of different experiences and different notions that are driven from those experiences. Instead of thinking everyone has a unique take, that's mostly the same, but at the end of the day is a little different, like a little different fucking toppings on the top. But they'll get people who have no investment in any of this to carry out their dirty work. Like, at the end of the day, do you think any of the people shilling for Nancy Pelosi or the Democratic Party, do you think they get a cut? No, Nancy Pelosi does, though. And at the end of the day, the fucking things are turned. Do the people shilling for the Republicans get any money? No. They've just been swindled into this act of division to hate your own population. And there is a little bit of truth to this, right? Because when I see that shit that goes on these live streams where they're burning shit down, demanding reparations, I can't live with that guy. Like Coach was talking about earlier. You know, you live in an apartment with somebody. Imagine you lived in an apartment with somebody like that. You can't live like this. But at the same time, they don't represent a majority like they say they do. Like the media portrays that they do. These crazy people represent a minority, but by the use of the propaganda arm of these faceless corporations, the media, they've convinced people that their voice is much louder than it really is. And in order to prevent that voice, or the voice of those who would stand a chance against them from ever rising, they just keep people arguing over stupid bullshit they don't even have any responsibility for or any authority over. So not only do, like, a Democratic voter doesn't have a say on abortion, but in a situation, a conservative or a person anti-abortion would sit there and scream at this person, yell at this person, as if they had any say-so in the matter at all. They're expecting the population to take responsibility for shit they don't even have control over. And that's how they pit us against each other. That's what I think. So, like I said, most people, your perspectives on how Californians are, you don't get it. You haven't been here, you don't know. It ain't like in fucking Southern California here. And sure as hell hope it doesn't get that way. But the people here are different. It's this whole putting everything into categories that all people like this are bad, all people like this are bad, all people from this region are bad. I mean, aren't we supposed to be all Americans? We're supposed to have... That's still how I see the world. When I hear about that Wisconsin man killed like that, I see that as a brother. One of my American brothers. But, you know, maybe you're right, Chad. You know, maybe everyone else is right. Maybe we should just... No, you know something? I'd say that if I wasn't Californian, too. I feel the same way about people from Oregon and people from Washington that are liberal states. But I know not everyone buys into that shit. Even if they can make it appear as though they have a majority. I will not ever throw away the love of my fellow fucking American because they believe something different. Okay? But I will say that people burning down I don't see them as a brother. You know, you go through those lengths to destroy your own home and the homes of the people you claim to care about. Yeah, you know, those individuals can get fucked. But by and large, I hear about an American dying, I feel it. Anyway. Cheers, chat, because guess what? The statewide nationalism, you guys are going to get fucked too. You think it could never happen to you in your home? Just you wait. Just you wait. I wish I didn't believe it, but I've felt it from experience. They can take everything from you in a heartbeat, so just appreciate it while you still got it, chat. Smoke them if you got them, so to speak. But dipshits with takes like this, dude, get fucked. Get fucked. You don't know shit about jack shit. I'll tell you that right now. Oh yeah, everybody, we're all a bunch of commies here. Yeah, except we're not. In fact, matter of fact, if you came here, this Jesse Kelly dipshit from Daily Caller came here in Northern California, he'd be the fucking commie by comparison. Anyway. I don't know, the fucking obnoxious right-leaning people can be just as fucking off-putting as the social justice warriors, because social justice warriors, everyone's laughing at them. But then when the based person comes in with the stupid Make America, you know, all that stupid shit you hear, it's just as annoying. Anyway. We have some deleted polls here, chat. Look at this. U.S. politics polls. Would you rather live in, and it says, communist Russia, Nazi Germany, or not sure? They deleted the post. I don't know why. But Nazi Germany won with 64%. 64% of 14,819 votes. Dangerously close to a number that would have made that really funny. And then another one they deleted. U.S. politics poll. White people, do you feel under attack? 75% says yes. 18% says no, I do not. 2% says I'm not sure. And then 7% said NA, I am not white. There you have it, chat. Deleted posts. I wonder why they had to delete. See, that's how they carry out studies and scientific research. They'll just keep running the same program until they get the outcome they want, so they can get funding for it. It's all a fucking scam, chat. I hate to be the guy that says it's all a fucking scam, but it's all a scam, folks. The whole thing's a charade. We haven't changed much since we were coming out of the fucking caves, is what I'm telling you. That all of these gadgets, all this fluff, they're all essentially clothes. We as a people haven't changed at all. Anyway, let's move on here. Okay, so that's a story we should take a look at after this one. Yeah, okay. There we are. Okay. So, a latest just stupid fucking story. Wayfair confirms there is no truth to a conspiracy theory about human trafficking. I got a few notifications about this earlier. People sent this to me. So, this app, they were selling pieces of furniture for tens of thousands of dollars. And it was just really bizarre. That's something we're gonna have to dedicate more time to. We're already 2 hours and 15 minutes into the stream, so that's something I don't exactly want to tackle on this one because we still gotta watch the Rakita shit, and I have a few more stories, so that's something we'll take a look at probably on the Crockpot. I got a feeling that Davey will want to take a look at that. Also, get this, chat. I saw Associated Press put this out. Still reeling from the coronavirus pandemic, and that probably just took us out of the fucking subfeed. Fuck me. Still reeling from the pandemic and protests over George Floyd killing, cities around the nation are facing another challenge: a surge in shootings that have left dozens dead. Experts say the spike in violence defies easy explanation. Defies easy explanation. Chat, can you come up with a reason why there might be more shootings since George Floyd? Can anybody piece that together? Criminals lionized by propaganda perpetuated by the media onto the unsuspecting population. Could it be?
That's not true.
Could it be? I just can't imagine why. You know why, Chad? I would love if Vince McMahon... This is a time where Vince McMahon needs to come out and just be the most vile bigot on his show. That's what Vince McMahon comes out and he's the biggest villain you can imagine. He's some of the finest acting talent I have ever seen in my life. Vince McMahon. So dedicated to his craft that he's the CEO of the company, still has to come down like he's a regular ass worker. He's like, no, I'm still gonna cut the mic for 10 fucking minutes, talk about how lowly these peasants are, and then they boo me. God, I'd do anything to have that job. Holy shit. That's the job I really want, Chad. I want to be Vince McMahon. I want to be the guy who comes out on stage and everyone boos me and get in the ring and I'm like, well, I didn't realize we were airing the show from a dumpster, but I shouldn't be surprised. It's, North Carolina, and they all just boo. Holy shit, I would love that job so much. What we need Vince to do is to just, do a segment where he has, one of his black, wrestlers get down on the ground and then, kneel on his neck. It's a bit. He needs to go full fucking... Because what are you going to do? Are you going to cancel Vince McMahon? I don't think it can happen, chat. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. How's the album and book? I wrote a fucking sweet ass song the other day. The book I haven't worked on. I worked a little bit. I've been working mostly on the Crockpot stuff. I have another clip going up tomorrow, by the way. Yeah, honestly, I've just been working a lot on the stuff me and Davey are doing. Davey and I are doing. It's nice to work for a fresh channel and have stuff to go for it because honestly, I love these streams. I have so much fun doing these streams, but as far as like uploads go and making videos for this channel, it kind of bores me. But Crockpot's been fun and engaging, and I can have a little bit more wiggle room. I know you guys would probably be cool if I just uploaded whatever the fuck I wanted to this channel, which is eventually what I'm just going to do, but each day when I go, what should I upload today? I go, nothing. I don't really want to like just ramble a bunch of bullshit. Let me fire up a live stream and ramble about a bunch of bullshit for 3 hours. I don't know. It's weird. But I have a hard time compelling myself to edit a video when it's just a normal thing. But when it's working with somebody else and editing things down, I might even just take that coach part and upload that separately onto the channel. I might even take that fucking rant from the beginning and edit it and put it on the channel. Who knows? Upload the music stuff you work on. And maybe I'll do that. See, the original plan was to create background music for myself, but I really like the music that Earjuice provides for the show. I was working on a song the other day. Well, it's not my song. Guys, we gotta talk about Epstein. That's where we're going after this, so consider this a palate cleanser. I'm not gonna sing. For the record, I'm not here to sing to you, chat. I promise. You know, if I can sing with it, it's a little bit different, but I'm a little too shy right now. There's a song called Shadows by Obla Simone. Great, beautiful song. Beautiful song. Who's Epstein? I've never heard of the guy. I've never heard of the guy. Alright, where you at? Tell me that it's getting better, but all you have to do is look inside. I had to sing just because that person said, good, no singing. Love you guys. I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of done. Like, I've said all this shit I want to say, but I got at least... Oh, I fucked it up. I wasn't supposed to share it yet. I fucked up a bit. Just pretend you didn't see that, chat.
No Jews. No Jews. Forget Jews. Forget Jews. No Jews. Forget Jews. No switches. No San Francisco cocksucker. No Jew.
Is it just gone now? Holy shit. Well, I was gonna do the whole graphic for Name My Band, but I guess this is the time where we name my band. Kevin Duggan with $49.99. Dude, $50. That's generous of you. Thank you. What song are you gonna sing? Well, I guess I have to now. That'll be a good way to conclude. So I'll sing something on our way out. He's a singing man. A singing man. Can you play Will of the People by Tim Pool? I'm good. Angelic voice, yeah. If I'm in the right setting and I'm playing the right song, I can kind of sing. But there are certain things that don't like go well with my voice. It's why I play everything in a different key. I play in flat notes almost exclusively. But I guess this is just... disappointed I didn't get to play my graphic. Name my band. I shared this to Twitter saying, I had no idea that Obama and Anthony Bourdain were such close friends. And also, you can't see it, but Obama has the white power symbol. See? Look at that. Absolutely, absolutely despicable. This is not the future Martin Luther King would have wanted, or George Floyd for that matter. I shared the joke was, right, is that it is actually Anthony Bourdain. To those who didn't catch my subtlety, the joke is that it's actually Anthony Bourdain, not Epstein. But then it makes you go, well, I mean, they do look a lot alike, right? I mean, let's see. Let's go to the island here. Well, let's not go to the island, but let's go to the video of the drone footage from the island. How about that? How about that instead? Now, I've heard that somebody from 4chan, the hacker known as 4chan, had officially looked into this guy. It turns out it's somebody that works as like a groundskeeper. But the resemblance is uncanny, you have to admit. But then there's a whole thing with Epstein, right? So, that's a picture. I don't have the one that's less faded, do I? Anyway. So if you look, the ears are a little bit different, just a little bit, right here. You can see my cursor, right? Yeah, right here. It's a little bit different. And the nose is a little sunken in. What we have to keep in mind is bloat. I mean, I already considered them looking similar. But this, to me, I see, I go, oh, then why the fuck is Anthony Bourdain being wheeled out of there? What the hell? Just an interesting coincidence that I'm sure is just a coincidence. Yeah, it should be good. I don't know. I don't know, chat. It's just a coincidence. Yeah is right. Okay, yeah, so the whole thing, we talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to share with you real quick, just briefly, a Vice article. Running defense for Ghislaine Maxwell. It's just strange, right? How much defense they've had for, like, nobody has gone, let's throw this fucking dude to the wolves, and everyone related to him. There's been defense organized on her behalf. Weird. You have Alan Tidy Whitey's Dershowitz going, we need to presume innocence, okay? How fucking dare you, chat, suggest otherwise. And then Vice comes out with this article. Incoherent conspiracy suggests Ghislaine Maxwell is a powerful Redditor. I'm sure they... What do you want to bet that this fucking joke of an article didn't even go through all of the details? Yeah, you see, curiously, they didn't bring up all of the things that we looked at on chat, which laid down a pretty compelling case, including the fact that the account of the Redditor was inactive during events like the event that Ghislaine Maxwell attended where Ellen Pao of Reddit, former Reddit CEO, was attending that. And during that event, wouldn't you know it, that account did not post for several days. They didn't bring that up in this. That's weird. Really strange. They basically allege that the only evidence is the Maxwell in the user's name. That's the only evidence, they say. I don't know, chat. I came in as a skeptic, right? I didn't buy it at first, and the more I read into it, the more of the evidence I looked at, the more I was convinced that maybe they were right. And now when I see... You know, if you do buy into a conspiracy and then you see something like this, it emboldens your beliefs, does it not? It becomes real fucking obvious, eh? Eh? These people are sick, chat. Where we go one, we go all. If those types of people didn't get so crazy by all of it, it would be good stuff. like that they're questioning things, but they go so far off the deep end, and they buy the cult-like mentality just on the other side. Defeats its purpose. He has satanic temples on his island. Why am I not surprised? Alright, is my noise gate off? That's the main question. Leave that open. That's all that background noise I normally cut out, chat, but let's see. Just realized I really need to like clear my voice real quick. All right, we'll give it a shot. Yeah, slow it down. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I was born to bring trouble to wherever I'm at. Got the number 13 tattooed on my neck. When the ink starts to itch, then the black will turn to red. I was born the soul of misery. Never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. Got a long line of heartache, I carry it well. The list of lives I've broken reach from here to hell. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I pray you don't look at me, I pray I don't look back. I was born in the soul of misery. Never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. Gonna find me a preaching... fuck, I can't remember. I'm doing this all from the top of my head. I can't remember how it goes. Gonna find me a preacher man confessing all I've done. Or you can catch me with the devil playing 21. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I pray you don't look at me, I pray I don't look back. No, I pray I don't look back. I was born in the soul of misery. Never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. They just gave me the number when I was young. They just gave me the number when I was young. Yeah, I haven't played that in so long. Holy shit, that sounded so bad. I can hear how bad it sounded in my own head. And I had to power through it. Just keep going, dude. A dude dropped you $50. Keep playing. But I got one more because, you know, he said a song, but, you know, dude threw me $50. He threw me $50. That's a 2-song deal for sure. Where are we at? Where's my capo? Where's my capo at so I can sing in my right key? They just just call me the number when I was young. Oh, fucking hell. What do you want to bet this cat fucking knocked it off the... I guess I just... Nope, there it is. I'm gonna play it in a flat note instead. Fuck yeah, boys. No, if I worked on that one, I think I could get it down because I was really into Danzig when I was younger, and it's a Danzig song played by Johnny Cash. And I think if you just kind of did a Johnny Cash with a Danzig twang, like I never do my Danzig like type voice because of how late I normally play, but that's how I normally sing. Anyway, yeah, this one I should be able to know. I've played it before, but it's a personal favorite. A clear black night, a cool white moon, Warren G is on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the eve, so I can get some phones, rolling in my ride, chilling all alone, just hit the east side of the LBC, on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G, see a car full of girls, you no need to tweak, all you skirts with 213, so I hooks a left on 21 and Lewis, brother shooting dice, so I said let's do this, jumped out the ride, said what's up, some fellas busted gas, so I said I'm stuck since these girls peeping me, I'm a glide and swerve, these hookers looking so hard they straight hit the curve, on to bigger better things and some horny tricks, I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix, I'm getting jacked, I'm getting something. Can't believe they took in Warren's wealth, they took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked back and brother said, damn, what's next? They got my homie hemmed up and they all around, seeing if they going straight pound for pound. They gotta come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my strap and lay them busters down. They got guns to my head, think I'm going down. Can't believe this happened in my own town. If I had wings I would fly, let me contemplate. Glanced in the cut and I see my homie Nate, 16 in the click, 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G have to regulate. I laid all them buses down, I let my gat explode. Now I'm switching my mind back into freak mode. If you want skirt, sit back and observe. I just left a gig of hoes over there on the curb. Now Nick got the freaks, that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on NETE and me, the Warren to the G. Just like I thought, they were in the same spot, in need of some desperate help. Nate Dogg and the G-Child were in need of something else. One of them dames, as sexy as hell, said, ooh, I like your size. Said my car's broke down and you seem real nice, would you let me ride? I got a car full of girls and it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel. I'm tweaking to a whole new era. G-Funk, step to this, I dare ya. Funk on a whole new level. The rhythm is a bass and the bass is a treble. Chords, strings, we brings melodies. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm. If you know like I know, you don't wanna step to this. It's a G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. If you smoke like I smoke, then you're high like every day. If your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate. Yeah, it sucks that we don't have live music anymore, so this is as good as you're gonna get, folks. You know, it's another one I know, and I'm not gonna play through all of it because it's a boring song to play through. Bitches ain't shit. Bitches ain't shit. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Lick on these nuts and suck a dick. Let's get the fuck out after you're done. And I hops in my ride to make a quick run. I used to know a bitch named Eric Wright. We used to roll around and fuck the hoes at night. Tried than a motherfucking gangsta beats. And we was ballin' on the motherfucking Compton streets. Beep that shit got deep and it was on. Number one song after number one song. Long as my motherfucking pockets was fat, I didn't give a fuck where the bitch was at, but she was hanging with the white bitch, doing the shit she do, sucking on his dick just to get a buck or two. In the end, what she got meant nothing. Now she's suing cause the shit she be doing ain't shit. Bitches can't hang with the streets. She found herself short. Now she's taking me to court. Real conversation for her ass. I once knit a bitch named Mandy May. Used to be up in them guts like every day. Pussy was the bomb, had a nigga on sprung. I was in love like a motherfucker licking the pro-tongue. The homies used to tell me that she was no good, but I'm a maniac in blackness as New Eastwood. Fuck. I'm back in the motherfucking county jail. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics. Fuck me. Oh, fuck it. I say fuck it. You see, once I'm in the mood, like once I'm going, now I'm less shy. What's it called? That's it. There is a Baby Got Back version on the acoustic guitar that I rather like, but I have not practiced it, so I'm not going to play it. From the dusty mesa, her looming shadow grows, hidden in the branches of the poison creosote. She twines her spines up slowly toward the boiling sun, and when I touched her skin, my fingers ran with blood. In the hushing dusk of a swollen silver moon, I came walking with the wind to watch the cactus bloom. Then strange arms, they halted me, looming shadows danced. I fell down through the thorny brush, felt the trembling hand.
Because I'm enlightened by my intelligence.
When the last light warms the rocks and the rattlesnakes unfold, mountain cats will come to drag away your bone and rise with me forever across the silent sand. And stars will be your eyes, and the wind will be my hand, and the wind will be my hand, and the wind will be my hands, and the wind will be my hands. There we go. See, and here's the thing, chat. You know, in this moment, I am euphoric. Not because of any phony God's blessing, but because I can slap the motherfucking bass. That's trying to do the theme from Snuffbox. Anyway, that'll be it for me tonight, chat. I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate the generous donations. I hope you guys enjoy the music. I enjoy playing the music, but I always feel bad when you know, a couple people want to hear it, and then other people are like, "Please don't let this asshole sing right now. Please, for the love of God, don't let him start singing into that fucking microphone." Now would be a good time to go like, there you go. That's what you wanted to hear. Will you please stream with Irrational Times? Dude, Irrational Times is a cool dude. He came up with that lovely intro for the Midnight Crockpot. He seems like an awesome dude. It would be a pleasure of mine to, of course, talk with him, have him on stream. I don't know what we would do, but he's, of course, more than welcome. What a nice thing for him to do. Came up with a very great intro. I fucking love it. It's such a... No joke. I tell people now when they ask me how... And when I'm doing good, when I tell them is I got that midnight feeling. And that's because he gave me that. And it's a great thing. I got that midnight feeling. You know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean. I don't give a fuck if you know what I mean, bud. That's typically how it goes. He seems like a fucking good dude, though. And I appreciate it. Thank you, Brick Power Slide. Well, it is always my pleasure to slide into whatever DMs I can slither into, I guess. But we had Always Lost on Nothing Else with $5. Donation 178. No encore needed. Do I know encore? Hold on. I'm just teasing you, chat. I'm just teasing you. If I had one more up my alley. Yeah, Brick Power Slide is my chosen name. Anyway, you guys are a blast. Fucking love you guys. Always a good time. Thanks for entertaining me, entertaining chat, entertaining Coach Red Pill. Always a good time we have here. Let's go ahead and roll those credits. Unless I just didn't set it up this time. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Look at that. Professionalism. Producers. Worski fan #1. Always Lost on Nothing Else. Associate producers. Rich D. Let Me Die. Kevin Duggan. Thank you, gentlemen. Always, like I said, always a pleasure. Remember, be yourself because you might find yourself by yourself and anybody can learn from their own mistakes, but it takes a wise guy like yourself to learn from the mistakes made by others. And before I end the stream, I'm actually going to put the noise gate back on. So I don't forget. But anyway, take care, everybody. I have tomorrow off, so you'll probably hear from me at a normal time. I might do a stream. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'll find something for us to chat and ramble about. It should be a good time. Take care, everybody.